Now let's grab a bite to eat.
Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The demolition, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Friday, everybody. Yes, we made it. 'Tis the day that we all strive for. Well, you made it. You got here. Congratulations. Happy Friday to you. Hope all of you are having a delightful Friday so far. We got a full slate for you for today's show. One of the, other than the fact that it is Friday, of course, the part we love the most about Fridays is it's a McDonald's Friday. Each and every Friday here in the Roswell Talk FM Studios, the fine folks at McDonald's provide us with delicious breakfast treats. Today I'm having my iced tea, but I haven't gone through the bag. I saw the hash browns and sandwiches. I saw you had hotcakes.
Dude, I got to tell you, hotcakes make a man happy. That's a key to a man's heart.
Can't be sad with hotcakes in front of you.
Really is hard, but you know what? Here's the thing. I did make an interesting discovery today. Mm-hmm. So I went through a process wherein I didn't have the whipped butter. I didn't get any butter for my hotcakes. So I wanted to go ahead and get some of my. I took some of my coffee butter, the butter I had in the fridge reserved for my coffee. I went ahead and microwaved it so it was, just poured on top. Mm-hmm. Did that, poured it on top of the hotcakes, poured the syrup on top, slid my sausage, which sounds dirty, right in between them hotcakes. And I took my fork, took a nice, cut of it, and I'm like, oh, I just made a McGriddle.
You did?
McDonald's went ahead and did this for me years ago and saved me the trouble, and I just made a McGriddle, but it was a McGriddle that you could fork.
I was about to say, yours was a flatter, bigger McGriddle.
That's right. Flatter, bigger McGriddle, and you get to fork it, and I got to slide my sausage inside. So,
maybe we call it an MG Deluxe.
Oh, look at that. A McGriddle Deluxe. No. An MG XXL.
Yeah. Well, perhaps you can put your input in there because McDonald's is hiring.
Oh.
They are hiring, and they want to me to let everybody else know.
I got to go. I have a thing with
all right, here, get you.
interview.
I haven't said the website yet, so he can't leave yet.
But
the South Main McDonald's, they are now hiring for that one. But they need it all. The UFO, North Main, they need all positions. So they, if you'd like a career with McDonald's, I know Nick and his team. There's Nick Snowberger, he's the owner of the McDonald's here in our region, and I know quite a few people that start with him young, and
I started with his dad.
Yeah, you were with John, but then they they work their way through the ranks of McDonald's, and now they're part of his team that goes and does for his charity work and all the other stuff he does too. So there's a lot of folks that start out in McDonald's is taking orders and flipping burgers. And next thing you know, they're part of the management and so forth.
One of the head managers over there at the UFO McDonald's was somebody that started, I want to say the same week I did.
Wow.
Yeah.
And now they're
they stuck with it, and they are senior management.
To quote Coming to America, now they're making the big bucks.
I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you, you make serious bank when you're senior management with Mickey D's.
Absolutely. So,
and they promote from within.
If you're ready to start your path towards a career today with McDonald's, please go online. You can go to mchire.com, www.mchire.com, and fill out an application today. But like I said, they're looking for workers for all of the McDonald's, including the new South Main that they're getting there working on.
That's exciting.
Right now. And of course, if you're hungry, they got you covered. Swing on by, In-N-Out, go through the drive-thru, order through the app, get exclusive deals available only through the app, and you'll see why you keep coming back to McDonald's.
You'll see why we are extra smiley on Friday mornings.
Mm-hmm. So big thank you to McDonald's, and yes, come be a part of their team. Go to mchire.com today. Let me give you the rundown. Le rundown of the show.
Hit me.
This hour, 7 o'clock hour, we've got Freddie Sosa from Richland scheduled to join us today and give us an update on what's happening at Richland. 8 o'clock hour, we're going to be a little busy. We're going to go right out the gate.
Oh, yeah?
Congresswoman Yvette Harrell's going to call in about 8:05, right? As soon as we start doing frivolities and everything coming into the hour, we'll talk to her for about 10 minutes or so. And then about 8:15, 8:20, we're going to have Chavez County Manager Bill Williams join us, fill us in on last county commission meeting and happenings through the county, get us up to date on all of that. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, 9:15, we're going to replay our interview we had earlier in the week with Rick Kraft from Leadership Roswell.
Yes.
The 2021 class is now forming, and the deadline to get your applications is the end of July. So we got about a week or two here. About 2 weeks? Do we have 2 weeks yet? What's today?
About 2 weeks.
About 2 weeks.
Yeah, about 2 weeks.
So, yeah, we're about midway through July, aren't we?
Dang.
Already?
Shut up.
Didn't like January, didn't the ball drop just like yesterday?
Remember when like this entire portion of the country was frozen solid and had no power? I mean, that was like yesterday, and now we're in July, and now we're all dying of heat stroke.
And flooding.
And flooding. I saw a report 13 inches is the official count.
Yeah,
13.2.
Yeah, because I saw 12 something, and then I think we got one rain after that, so that tipped that scale. We do have,
and we're only halfway done.
Yeah,
I mean we're like we're more than halfway through monsoon season, but we're halfway done.
Yes,
with the year. So.
Okay.
Yeah,
is Tanner singing?
He is.
What's going on in there?
He's singing He was singing "Living on a Prayer."
What's he singing?
I just caught it. I was like, I heard, "Oh, I'm halfway there."
I was sitting in my headphones, I hear singing in the background. Where's it?
We just had to stop and take it in for a minute. Keep it going. I like it. A little serenade in the.
It's my wife here. Is he macking on my wife? She come in and he started hitting him with
just elbow up, perched up on the wall. Hey, Tanner. No.
He's macking on my wife. She come in. Oh, I'll hit over some Bon Jovi this morning.
There you go.
No, she was sawing one on my left. I doubt she's up and ready for the day. By the way, I would go with Bon Jovi over. I mean, I'd go with Def Leppard over Bon Jovi. Yeah. Bon Jovi's like round 2.
And I'll tell you this: you're going to get a lot more brownie points if you go B-side Def Leppard or new Def Leppard. That's actually a new hack. If you can walk up and go, "Love, love, why do I keep searching high and low? Take me by my heart and let me go."
I'll even give you the secret weapon, Tanner. If you really want to skip to the top, you're going to have to bust out some poison. Every rose has its thorn. You get that? You're in like Flynn.
Okay, all right. It'd be choosy, though. You don't want to go unskinny bop.
Yeah.
And mess that up.
Yeah, don't go skinny bop. Skinny bop, that's the opposite effect. Yeah. Every rose is golden. You know.
Helps if you're shirtless playing a guitar, too. Acoustic guitar.
And long-haired, and yeah.
A couple tattoos.
And your name's Brent Michaels.
Got a tour bus, you know. These are all factors.
Yeah, man, those would all help, too.
Indeed.
But, you know what? Oh, we were talking about rain earlier. Let's do the weather. This is the magic number you need to know for this weekend. 20.
Ooh.
20.
Going dub. Okay.
That's the number.
20.
I don't know if he's going to mention it. I will when I do my weather. But here's the meteorologist weather. Stay tuned. 20. Remember that.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We could get a few showers or thunderstorms over the next couple of days with some monsoon moist air coming in. Sunshine today, our afternoon high in the mid-90s, maybe an afternoon thunderstorm. For tonight, a shower or two in the evening and down to about 70. Mid-90s tomorrow with a slight chance of a late-day shower or thunderstorm, and we'll be in the mid-90s. Looks about the same for Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 73 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 71%. Winds are out of the north at 7 miles per hour. Remember the thing 20? Here's where it comes in. Today, we are looking at a 20% chance at showers and thunderstorms this afternoon, mainly after 4. Mostly sunny, highs of 95 expected today with northeast winds at 5 miles per hour. Tonight, a 20% chance at showers and thunderstorms, mainly before 1 a.m. Mostly cloudy otherwise, with a gradually clearing, mostly clear after midnight. Overnight low of 71, south winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday, a 20% chance at afternoon showers and thunderstorms, mostly sunny, high of 95 with south winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday night, a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms, partly cloudy, overnight low of 71, south winds 5 to 10. Sunday, a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms. For the afternoon, they say some storms there could produce some heavy rainfall, mostly sunny, with a high of 92, otherwise southeast winds 5 to 10. Sunday night, you guessed it, a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Once again, some of those storms could produce heavy rainfall, partly cloudy, overnight low of 71. And then Monday, when you head back to work and school, or not school, but work and everything, we're looking at a 30% chance at showers and thunderstorms, mostly sunny, high of 92. And then we're looking at 30% chances of rain Monday night, Tuesday, and then back to about 20% Wednesday night, Thursday. So looks like we got rain chances. Well, it's monsoon season pretty much every day, but 20% every day this weekend. All right, it is 17 minutes after 7 o'clock. Let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break. I haven't seen Freddie yet from Richland. We'll give him a few minutes, and he's scheduled to join us. Is he here? No, not yet. Okay. All right, let's take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be back on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
One of the most devastating effects of the 6-year-long World War II was the children who were orphaned. Thousands upon thousands of little children were left with no one to care for them. So many of them were left crying late into the night, calling out for mommy and daddy. One orphanage tried something new that would help the children sleep through the night. They sent them to bed with a loaf of bread. Guess what? It worked. The bread represented stability, or at least one more meal for the next day. While we're not left orphaned after World War II, we often lay down at night restless from an ever-changing world. Maybe we need to go to bed with some bread. Jesus told his followers, I am the bread of life. For us, Jesus is our stability factor. He is the promise of a better tomorrow. The Bible tells us that if we give our anxieties and worries and requests to God, He will give us peace that is beyond understanding. So this week, give your unrest to God. He will give you peace.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Every project, big or small, starts with a solid foundation. Chance Materials is your provider for quality, affordable, ready-mix concrete. No matter the job or project, Chance Materials has the quality products and unmatched customer service you deserve. All at the lowest price possible. Online at chancematerials.com. Call 575-363-3240. Serving the Pecos Valley with plants in Roswell and Carlsbad with ready-mix concrete and more. Chance Materials. Because when a project matters, materials matter most.
Oasis Computers has been Roswell's trusted source for home and small business computers for over 30 years. And they continue to be your best resource for computer repairs, operating system upgrades, web root managed antivirus, special orders, and more. Oasis Computers is now open from 8 to 1, Monday through Friday to better serve you. Service calls by appointments and after-hour appointments are available too. Stop by Oasis Computers at 1703 North Garden or call or text 575-625-9141 for even faster service.
Travis Hicks Richland Auto Group coming to you from the Twilight Zone. I don't remember being more excited about a July than I am about this one. July 4th celebrates the issuance of the Declaration of Independence, a document that pronounced the original 13 colonies in America as free from the tyranny of Great Britain. The second sentence of the Declaration states that all men are created equal and are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, among them life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Isn't it amazing that 250 years later, those words still have so much meaning? Ridgeland will be celebrating our independence from tyranny all month long. In July, your vehicle purchase at either our GM or Dodge store will come with a Bible to remind us to whom we owe our lives, an American flag to remind us that we are all free from tyranny in America, and an entry to win an AR for those who choose to celebrate and defend our pursuit of happiness. To win the gun, you can enter on our Facebook page, our website, or by buying a card this month. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Part of why you should ride for our brand. Richland, where service is job one.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. I'm a better neighbor because my service has taught me how important it is to be a team player. My training helps me in my classes when I give attention to detail to the task at hand. My service also allows me to be there for my community in ways others can't. I help my hometown recover after nature strikes. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my country and those I care about safe from threats. I also work with a network of professionals that help me succeed. Also, the Army National Guard's education benefits make getting a higher education a reality. Being an Army National Guard soldier makes living and serving in my community more rewarding every day. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Coming up on the next edition of the Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show, what are the Democrats really planning with this crazy budget proposal? Trillions and trillions of dollars, lots of pork, Green New Deal madness, and also what's going on in Afghanistan. Clay will dive into that and more.
Plus, it's Open Line Friday. Your calls. We'll have some fun as we roll into an awesome summer weekend. It'll be the Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show, Friday edition. Come hang with us.
Travis and Sexton are on Roswell's Talk FM weekdays at 10. Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The word gorilla is derived from a Greek word meaning a tribe of hairy women. Mike recommends that if you see a tribe of hairy women, you don't call them gorillas. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 7 o'clock. Freddie Sosa will be up just here in a few minutes. Real quick, though, before, let me ask you a question. Are you broken up over a busted Bissell? Out of sorts about your out-of-order Oric? Heaving a sigh about your helpless Hoover? You're thinking, where's the connections there? Well, they're all vacuums. Well, if you have a problem with your vacuum, bring it to Vacuums Plus. They offer same-day diagnostic and repair for any model. Any model. Don't care what you got. They can diagnose and repair it. They got you covered. Maybe it's time to upgrade. Trade up to a new vacuum. They have a great selection featuring the top brands that you know, and even some you may not have heard of. You know, ones that are like, because there's certain brands like, oh, those are only for the people that really know. Well, he'll bring you into that world. Plus, hard to find vacuum bags and accessories too. So if you're having trouble getting all that stuff, they got you covered. So don't be downtrodden over a dead Dyson. The puns are all over the place on this one, folks. Trade up today to Vacuums Plus. They're located on the corner of South Main and Poe, right here in Roswell, across from Andrew's Donuts. Yeah, if you're looking to fix your vacuum cleaner, don't matter. He's got it. Don't matter the brands, nothing. Got it. And then, of course, if you're looking to trade up and upgrade into a newer model, they got you covered. He's got vacuum cleaners that really suck. Come on down, Vacuum Plus. All right, it is 24 minutes after 7 o'clock. Joining us in studio this morning from Richland, Freddie Sosa back with us. Good morning, Freddie.
Morning. How are you?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Good. Running a little bit behind. I apologize.
That's all right. It's Friday. Everything's all right on a Friday.
True.
So let me ask. I know in the volatile world of supply and demand right now, how are things going at Richland?
Well, it's great because we're actually starting to get some vehicles starting to hit the lot a little bit more.
Nice. So some are making it off the trailer and into the lot a little bit?
A little bit, yeah. A couple. The SUVs the trucks are still going fast. But luckily, Mother Nature threw us another curveball the other day, and we got a little bit of a hailstorm.
So a hail damage sale?
Yeah. So
there was some good hail there, too.
Yeah, especially, it's funny, especially right where we're at. It was quite a bit of damage, but people 2 blocks from us, nothing.
Yeah.
It's like that thing went straight down 2nd Street.
Yeah, it's like tornadoes. You know, tornadoes can do that. The hail did that too. But, I mean, what's kind of bad news for you guys is great news for everybody else, because if like so much as one little pellet, touch the surface on this thing, it's a hail damaged vehicle now.
Yes,
much.
and we're right now we're just going to say everything's getting fixed, but come on down, because as we start figuring some stuff out, these things are going to have some big discounts on them, and
absolutely,
yeah.
And to be honest, that's the one that's like, because you hear about they just had the big hurricane in Houston, and all of a sudden these flood cars show up, and that's bad. This is way different. These cars are perfectly fine. There's nothing engineerally wrong with them. They got beat up by some hail, and so you guys fixed it up, and now, but because of that,
we're working towards getting them fixed.
Yeah,
so it just happened. So,
but what I mean is technically, I guess you guys have to sell it as like a used car or something now, right? Or is it technically? I mean,
no. We just disclose that there's some damage.
Okay.
that was on there, and then we explain what happened,
and then they knock some money off of it. Basically. So really, it's kind of like getting a new car at a discount. So.
Yeah.
But anyway, please come by. And here's now. I know you got throughout July, you guys are doing all kinds of. Hey, you buy a vehicle here, we're going to give you. Throughout July, I think register to win guns, and you get Bibles. You got all kind of stuff going on this month.
Yeah, we got right now we're giving away a American flag and a Bible with every purchase, and then with that purchase, you can get registered. Now, an extra registration, because anyone can register. You don't have to purchase to win the AR.
But you get a few extra chances in the drawing if you buy a vehicle. So.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And so it's been every time we do something like this, it's always a good turnout, and so we're filling that right now. And
absolutely. So if you need a vehicle, and by the way, you're like, I could use a new firearm.
Yeah.
Well, maybe register to win, and you might get both. So you get one, and you might get the second one too, absolutely free. So, but and then of course the one thing that I really know that, and we talk about this every time, but because it needs to be, this is where you kind of separate yourselves from the pack, so to speak, and it's the brand champion program.
Yes,
it's probably, I would argue, one of the most unique after the sale programs in the industry. And what I mean by that is basically it's a brand loyalty program. So hey, you bought a vehicle with us here at through the brand at Richland. That means we're going to take care of you. If you have issues with the vehicle, we got you covered. If you need a loaner while we service the vehicle, we got you covered. If you have a flat tire or something like that, we got you covered.
We tow within 50. I believe it's 20 or 50 miles from the dealership with no cost to you. So, and we'll as long as this is during business hours, and then
plus you get like discounts on like if you
half off oil changes.
Yeah, oil changes and other maintenance. Like I'm a Jeep guy. I own a Jeep. Everyone knows this. One of the things about a Jeep owner, a Jeep Wrangler particularly, is you're never resting on your laurels with a Jeep. You're always wanting to add to
more.
It. And I like it, but I want to put these lights on it, or these rims, or raise it up, whatever. Anyway, you get discounts and all that stuff when you do it through Richland.
Yeah, on your parts and accessories.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's cool.
Yeah, and that's through for life that you own that vehicle. If you happen to get 20 years out of this sucker, guess what? They're helping you with oil changes for 20 years on that. Now they probably like to see after 10 for a new one, but the vehicles are there and maintain them. They're going to run like that forever. So
and it's always kind of hard to show up for an oil change and not take a look at some of the newest shiny stuff that's out there.
True.
So I mean,
this is true.
Yeah, you put the shiny stuff in the front, people get the itch. I mean, it's we're not shying away from it. So.
Absolutely, and of course for everybody, this is regardless of where you go at Richland, whether it's the Dodge store at the Y there or the GM store on Second there, it's all part of the brand champion program.
Yes,
here. It's really that's kind of, I think, Richland's when they started officially as Richland here a couple years ago. I think that was always one of the main things is just saying, hey, we kind of want to build our customer base and keep them here, and I know that's something that every business wants to do, but you guys are going through that extra step, saying, no, this is, other than a house, buying a car is probably one of the second biggest purchase we make in our lives, generally, for most of us. And they want to make sure that you're happy with that purchase. And I say you're sitting right here, but you know what I mean? Richland wants to make sure to say, hey, this is a big investment. This isn't you going to buy a cup of coffee or something. This is something that's going to be a part of you and your family for hopefully the next 5 to even more years, depending on.
Well, we know that. our doors aren't open without those people. And so we're trying to make sure that their whole life expectancy of their car ownership is taken care of, because we know we can't do this without them.
Sure.
So,
and then when you're ready to, retire the family trucks through there, and you're ready for a new one, come on down. They got you covered. So that's a great part about it. But I know it seems like a volatile world these days. You're like, I'm not going to get what I want because of supply and demand. And no, things are starting to work back up there a little bit. But like you said, especially if you're looking for something specific, you guys are really good at helping folks, track that stuff down, order it if need be, so forth and so on. You guys and your staff work really well with the customers and trying to get them exactly what they want, and and then the other side of it too, because you got folks that I know money's tight, everything, and if there's a way financially to make it work for you, Freddie and his guys are pretty wizard-like when it comes to running the numbers and making it so that you can afford it and it doesn't break your bank. But also, if you've had issues in the past, you can work with that kind of stuff.
We just talk to us about it. Everyone has a little bit of something they're trying to figure out, and that's what we're good at. So.
Yeah. So even if you think you're like, well, I don't know if come talk, and I know you guys will work with people too, say, hey, I only got a couple grand here and work with. All right, no problem. We've got some pre-owns. We got some stuff that will work in your budget. And then, if you're trying to rebuild credit and things like that, that's a perfect way to do that. You get a car that your credit's shot, but you're like, okay, well, I can get an economical car. Here's something fuel efficient. I pay $300 a month, $200 a month for whatever it is, and next thing you know, my credit starts getting back to, and next thing you know, I'm like, oh, next time I come in, I'm going to be looking at that SUV over there or whatever it is.
And one of the things is, even if you can't buy a car right now, we're doing something a little bit different than what most places do. We're telling you some of the stuff that you can do.
Okay.
To work on, so that way you can come back.
Give them like a checklist almost of, all right, if you come back and do this, and this, your credit should be good.
Try doing this, and this, save up this amount of money, and then when you can come back, we'll have a better shot about getting this done. Instead of just saying, hey, you're not approved, go ahead and get out of here.
Yeah, good luck to you.
No, we still want you as a customer. So we're going to help you plan out what it takes to get you there.
Well, and again, that's an investment. You're thinking, all right, we're going to invest in our customers because they invest in us, and that's in essence what you guys are doing.
Yeah. So, well, and I always talk about it, but it's one of the things that I wish they taught in school was credit.
You're right. You are absolutely right. We all learn that the hard way, it seems like.
Exactly. And so if that was something that was taught in school, it would be better for not only you, but for everything you do. You need that, and sometimes we don't realize that until we're later on in life.
It from personal experience, it sounds like you two speak from personal experience. When you start and you screw up your credit in your early 20s there, you really start behind the 8 ball trying to get your life established and everything. I'm not saying it's impossible, it is, but next thing you know, you're spending your first 5 years of kind of your marriage or that next step trying to restore your credit to something where people will give you, loans and what have you, and it's hard to dig out of it once you get into it. But so the best bet is don't let yourself get into it.
And start early.
Start early. Yeah. I always tell folks, like I'll have like our Damon Grahams and our Matt Bristols on and all that, and our and Elliott's for talking mortgages and all that. Listen to those folks. They all say the same thing. Maybe they do it from their different businesses, and Freddie's telling you the same thing here.
Yeah.
It's when you're young and early, the young couples, that's when you start planning and thinking about that stuff. It makes it so much easier when you get in your 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond. When you do it when you're 20s, starting out, or it's put that plan together, and really, Richland can help you with that. Because I always say, like when you first start out, you want to establish credit, right? And because no one wants to give you credit, nowadays most people get a phone or something like that. But a car can be a very valuable, if you're like maybe, I know this happens a lot where, kids going off to college or something, parents first time car, buy, teach. Hopefully that's when you start learning those lessons about financing, and if you don't already know them, but maybe parents. That's a good time to start working with your kids on that kind of stuff.
Well, and that's a funny misconception too, because phones don't do anything for people always, well, I've had my phone. They may check your credit to get your phone, but that's not necessarily.
So you don't pay your phone bill, doesn't impact your credit?
No, well, only if you don't pay it.
Okay,
and
gotcha.
all those times you're paying it, it hasn't
helped restore the credit.
Yeah, it just helped you make a couple phone calls.
But something like a car payment will definitely do that.
Yeah, little stuff. I mean, you just got to know where to start.
Yeah. It's generally speaking, it's a credit union. You know, credit unions with banks institutions, if you pay on time, treat you well, they usually, tell you that on your credit reports. And the converse is also true. Yeah. If you're a day late, they let you know. So
and that's one of the smartest things to do as when you're young is set up an account with a credit union, because that's where you start. They help you.
It's basically establishing your track record of trust for lenders, and that's all it is. And that's and I know Freddie and his team, they do an amazing job working with people and going through every step and doing everything they can to help them go through that process and understand and experience that and able to have the car that they want and the things that they need for their family. So please come see Richland. Come by, talk to them. Is there a heavier, like it says, more on trucks right now or car? What's kind of the inventory leaning towards one way or another right now?
Inventory's really leaning towards small SUVs right now.
Okay.
That's what we have quite a bit. For the first time in a while, we have a couple new truck in our inventory that haven't sold yet. So they're sitting there. Come on by if you want to look at them.
Very good.
It's the first time where something's been on my lot for more than 4 days.
All right.
In a truck.
Well,
and so they're there.
I would imagine that will end here pretty quick.
I don't suspect I don't suspect it to go past the weekend.
But if you're looking for a brand new spanking, no one put a butt groove in the driver's seat, but you got one right there.
And none of the trucks had any hail damage because we didn't have any.
They weren't
there yet.
They were on the truck coming in when the storm rolled through. So cool.
One of the things I want to talk about is right now for the branch champions, we talk about service and all the stuff that you do. One of the things that we could really use that would help us out to be able to make sure that experience is great. We're looking for some qualified service technicians.
Okay.
At both my locations. And,
all right.
And we're paying top dollar for well-qualified applicants. And so I just encourage people who are looking, or even if you haven't necessarily been thinking about it, and you have experience as automotive technician, come down and see us. I mean, it's a really good place to work for.
Absolutely. Yeah, they come, and I'll tell you this. At least I know, and I'm pretty sure the GMs are very much the same way, but they're eating a lot of food at that Dodge store. Every time I always come in to say hi, they're like, "Oh, we just brought some chicken. Come on, oh, we got some pizza." You never go hungry working at Richland. I'm just saying. Every time I come in there, they always go. So, that kind of speaks to the environment. It's kind of a fun family atmosphere. And
we always got snacks.
Yeah, and just everybody gets along, and good guys and all that. And then, oh, by the way, spend your day, oil changes and tire rotations and whatever work needs to be done there. And it's a pretty good gig there if you're looking for a nice, steady. And, with Richland, I know it's always we talk about customer loyalty. It's the same way with employees, as, folks like yourself have been working, with Travis and that team for many years.
I started in 2007.
Yeah, so that speaks volumes when you got folks that have been there for 10 plus, 20 some years working for the same company. That always, to me, that's a clear indicator of a company's good to work for or not. When you got employees, a lot of them that's been there 10, 20 years, that speaks volumes. They treat their people right. Because people don't hang around if you're doing a bad job. That's fact of life. Especially in this day and age where you can throw a rock and see a job availability right now. People that are happy are going to stay where they're at. And you got people doing that. So if you'd like to be a part of the team and you've got mechanic skills here, a certified mechanic, please swing by, either Richland store and apply today.
Yeah, neither one.
Very good. Awesome. Or you can probably go online if you go to the Richland website.
Yes, there's an application on the website also.
Very good. And I'm sure you're always looking for sales and things too. So if you're looking for career in sales, please swing on by too. But if you're looking to shop, come on by. And if you need work, like I said, we always talk about service department. They work on any vehicle. If you need help with your car, both either service department, they can help you take care of all that.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely. And what else? Anything else we need to let folks know about? Any
This weekend's the Richland Classic.
Oh, the Golf Classic, yes.
Yeah, so this weekend's the Richland Classic.
I imagine all the teams are filled at this point and everything?
I suspect, yeah.
Sure. I think is that one at Nimi, or is that at Nancy Lopez?
Nancy Lopez.
Okay. If you want, call the pro shop over there today, and see if he'll tell you if there's an opening or not. But I would bet. I know it's really late to get on all the T-shirts and all that, but if you want to support the charity and everything, because it's a charitable event, I'm sure, and you'd say, hey, I'd like to sponsor. I know it's a little late to get on a T-box and all that, but here's $100 or $500 or $1 million for the golf classic. They would love to have you do that. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that the Rotary Club's been putting on for a long time, and we've been able to sponsor for years, and I'm glad Richland was able to pick that up.
Yeah.
And so that's going on this weekend, and we'll have a great turnout, and it'll be a lot of fun.
Why do I got the feeling, because it's Richland, they're going to have more fun driving the golf carts around than actually golfing?
I wouldn't expect anything less.
But yeah, we were jumping the golf carts. We golfed a little too. Because I know, because you never see just regular golf carts over there. They always are red or got flames. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
they got some tricked out stuff.
Souped up golf carts. And so I was like, they got to take them to the golf course.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. But yeah, they're all good folks. Come on by. Even if you just want to come by and shoot the breeze for a bit, they talk to them. And that's kind of the stuff that it's a very family-friendly atmosphere when you go in there. It's not pressure sales, because you get that side of things too. And you just come in and it's a very relaxed atmosphere. You shop at your leisure. If you have questions and things, they'll be happy to talk to you. Even if you're just kind of, even if you're just like in that shopping mode where you're like, I'm not ready to buy today, but I just kind of want to talk to people and know what's out there, and that they can help you with all that.
Yeah, we encourage kicking tires. I mean,
absolutely.
This gives you the people think that coming on a Sunday when no one's there is the best time to come look.
Yeah.
But honestly, I mean, come when one of my guys are there and learn a little bit about these cars. I mean, it really helps you make a better educated decision on what it is that you're looking to purchase.
Well, absolutely, because let's face it, if you're sitting there in the new car lot and you got, three Dodges sitting there, all same models, one's blue, one's red, one's white. I mean, they all look new.
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell from the outside, ooh, that's got a sunroof, that doesn't, or that one's got alloy wheels, this doesn't. And you can read the paperwork on the side, but you can't sit in it, can't smell it, can't kick the tires, can't do all that stuff. Open the hood and look at it and really get a look at it and see what's going on there, unless you do that kind of stuff. And I know, and online shopping's great. Ain't nothing wrong with doing a little homework online. But I wouldn't make that your only way. You know what I mean? When I look at cars, I'll go kind of say, all right, what's their inventory, and go look through the inventory. But once you're like, all right, that's one, you got to get down and look at it. And I don't know, that's just me.
Well,
you got to get in it.
Drive it kind of where you would drive it every day. Like when I was selling, I would bring my customers down test drive right here, right in front of your guys' office. And the reason I would do that is because I'd want them to drive right in front of that Bank of the Southwest building so that way they can see their reflection in their car.
That's a nice look.
Yeah, now take a look. Now you can see what you look like in it.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's stuff you can't do looking online. That's stuff you can't do on a Sunday when no one's there.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
Like,
you kind of connect with the vehicles and find, because I don't know, I'm one of those people. That's kind of why I'm a Jeep. Like the rest of my life, I'm driving that Jeep. And once I got it, because that's kind of like, to me, it's the perfect comfort for driving. It's got enough. I'm not one of these people that likes all the driving assists and all. I'm kind of want to drive. I want to, I want my hands on the wheel. I want to feel that wheel, because that's how you connect to the car. Your feet in your hands. So the most, you get the most feel. You don't realize that. I think, and the more you drive, the more you get this. But yeah, when your feet's on the pedal, that's you and the car connecting to me. I mean, because you're like, all right, just a little bit on this will give me this much gas, or this. It's your car. You get to feel that. Oh, she likes it when I do this. There's very much that. That's cars, man. People in cars.
What's funny, Mike, is how your perspective's changed on it since you've gotten your Jeep, because you leased your cars for a couple years. For a couple years before that. And now your mindset is, because you finally got something you like. You're thinking long term instead of this is just instead of this just being kind of a tool. I'm only going to have it so much time.
Yeah.
Now it's something you want to keep. And
I'm going to drive this one to the ground, and I'm going to buy another Jeep.
There you go. See,
I'm probably going to own Jeeps the rest of my life.
Yeah,
it's just the way I like that. That's how I am. And granted, I'm probably more set in my ways than other people are, but But I found what I like, and that's my jam, and Richland can help you find what you like and get you in your jam.
There we go.
So if you, and by the way, the only vehicle that might sway me from getting
Gladiator.
Another Wrangler is a Gladiator. Yeah, that's the only one that might push me over. Because there's some days I look at that and I'm like, yeah, that would be happy or handy to have a bed there.
Best of both worlds right there, I'm telling you.
And you know what the cool thing I like about Jeeps, and here I am hawking Jeeps here, is I love you feel like you're riding in a big vehicle, like you're high up and everything, but you're not in a huge vehicle. You can whip it in and out of parking spaces and get around town. And I love, like you have your huge Ram.
Yeah.
It's great, but I imagine that thing's a nightmare in parking lots and stuff to park.
I drive it like it's a Fiat. I can get that thing anywhere.
I've seen other people in vehicles your size, they don't drive it like a Fiat. Yeah. They drive it like an aircraft carrier.
Everyone that rides with me, hey, this isn't a small car. You got to relax. Nah, it can do anything that car can do.
You know what? If you could really help the community of Roswell, if anybody that buys a big honking vehicle from you, give them that lesson.
Okay.
Give them that lesson.
Does it drive you nuts?
Yeah.
Driving behind them? Yeah.
Little bit. It's like, I get it. You want the big car, but learn to drive that thing, man, or park it.
Oh, you got to own that thing.
Exactly.
Just like a Jeep, you got to own those things.
Exactly.
You got to take control.
So yeah, if you can work out that, like learn how to drive your big honking vehicle program, God bless you. You'll be a
class at the adult center or something.
You would be doing a genuine service to our community.
There we go.
All right, if you need a vehicle, new, used, or if you need a career, if you're looking for, of course, sales, but right now, definitely service department at both locations here. And if you, of course, have any questions, go online, go to the Richland websites. I just type in Richland, Google, or for your GM or it's like Richland. I can't remember.
The Chevy store's rlchevrolet.com.
That's it.
And the Dodge store's richlandmotors.com.
Very good. Yeah, and that'll get you there. But you should just type in Richland, GM, Roswell, something. It'll pop all that thing you need up. And then you can kind of see what's on the lot there. But like we said earlier, come down. You don't have to come sneaking in a mustache and sunglasses on Sunday morning. Come down anytime.
Waste of a good disguise.
Yeah, and come be a part of it. Here.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm telling you, it really is an experience. I've owned my vehicle for about 3 years now, and I've never been happier. It's my favorite vehicle I've ever owned. Every day I get into it, I still it's still fun for me.
Yeah.
It's even 3 years later, I still there's two things in my life that I've had for several years now, and they still feel new and fun to me. One, my Jeep. The other is my bed.
Ooh. Hey.
And I'm happy with both of them.
Good.
So. Cool. Is there anything we missed? Anything we wanted to share?
No, those were the big things I wanted to talk about. Just looking for mechanics. I mean,
good deal. Yeah, if you're, I know it's a world. Everyone's looking for help right now. But I know certain things. Once you find your groove, find your place, you settle in, you're happy. And I'm telling you, for folks that are mechanics, Richland's one of those places. Where you sit down, settle in, be a part of the team, and have a great career, but at the same time work in a good environment, and you don't dread coming to work every day.
Yeah, we got plenty of work. It's our service departments are packed. So.
That's right. Hey, I need people to work on my Jeep, so y'all need to apply.
There we go.
Because I have no mechanical skills whatsoever. Well, thank you, Freddie.
No problem.
I'm sure you got a bunch of sales to wrangle and get things going here, so we'll let you get to it.
All right, my friend. Have a good day.
All right, take care. It is 7:48. We're going to get you up to date with the news. Don't go away.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Sorello. Eastern New Mexico University is announcing that Dr. Paul Weir has been appointed as the Director of Athletics. Weir, who most recently served as the head men's basketball coach at the University of New Mexico, will officially begin his duties on July 19th. With nearly 20 years of NCAA men's basketball coaching experience, Weir possesses the proven ability to lead through his success as the first head coach in history to coach at both New Mexico State University and UNM. In addition to his coaching background, Weir comes to ENMU with a substantial academic career as he holds a Ph.D. in Educational Leadership Administration and a Master's in Business Administration, both from NMSU, as well as master's degrees from Northwestern State University and the University of Iowa. He is currently an adjunct faculty member for UNM's Anderson School of Management. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello reporting.
If you ran Twitter or any other social media platform, what would you do when people begin using emojis as racist insults? I'm Kim Commando with the answer, brought to you by ExpressVPN. Stop internet service providers from profiting off your data. Get 3 extra months free at expressvpn.com/Kim. This past Sunday, England's men's soccer team was playing in their first major tournament final in years. After the game, a wave of racist abuse began aimed at 3 black English players. Messages began appearing on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram using the monkey and banana emojis. Of course, digital abuse isn't new, especially when it comes to professional sports. But the use of innocent emojis is. For example, an emoji banana or monkey is not inherently racist or insulting. It's the message that it was attached to that was. Worse, Twitter and the other big social media companies don't have any sort of algorithm that can block these racial insults. Get more tech news 24/7 at commando.com. Whether you need it for work, school, or a special project, it's very important to have the right printer. The Epson EcoTank is a new type of printer that doesn't use cartridges. Stop buying expensive ink cartridges and save yourself the frustration of replacing ink cartridges ever again. The Epson EcoTank printers have supersized, easy-to-fill ink tanks, and they come with just a ridiculous amount of ink. If you're like me, you've tried rationing your printing to save yourself from replacing those expensive ink cartridges. With the Epson EcoTank, you don't have to worry about running out of ink. So start printing in color all you want. You can kiss expensive cartridges goodbye already. But hurry, because the Epson EcoTank is changing the way people print. It's flying off the shelves. I just love mine. The Epson EcoTank makes it easy. Make the switch today. Add the Epson EcoTank to your online shopping list so you can just fill and chill. Epson EcoTank printers. Available at Sam's Club, Target, Walmart, and at epson.com/EcoTank Kim.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We could get a few showers or thunderstorms over the next couple of days with some monsoon moist air coming in. Sunshine today, our afternoon high in the mid-90s, maybe an afternoon thunderstorm. For tonight, a shower or two in the evening and down to about 70. Mid-90s tomorrow with a slight chance of a late day shower or thunderstorm, and we'll be in the mid-90s. Looks about the same for Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander. Screaming fans won't be the only thing missing from this year's Olympic Games in Tokyo. Behind the scenes, there won't be much schmoozing for the corporate sponsors like Coca-Cola and Procter & Gamble. The networking opportunity has been undermined because of the coronavirus. The number of Americans applying for unemployment benefits has reached its lowest level since the pandemic struck last year. Further evidence that the U.S. economy and the job market are quickly rebounding from the pandemic recession. Thursday's report from the Labor Department showed that jobless claims fell by 26,000 last week to 360,000. On Wall Street, the Dow gained 53 points to close at 34,987. The Nasdaq dropped 101 to 14,543, and the S&P 500 down 14 points to 4,360. With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
If you have a student who's ready to further their education, think Eastern New Mexico University first. The state of New Mexico, through the Lottery Scholarship Program, will pay 100% of your student's tuition if you are a New Mexico resident. Don't miss out on this great opportunity to further your student's higher education at the only 4-year university on the High Plains. For more information, visit enmu.edu. Explore, experience, excel. Eastern New Mexico University.
Put a little cool into your back to school with the Back to School Blowout at Roswell Honda. Saturday, July 24th from 10 to 1, Roswell Honda is classing up your back to school season with free food and drinks, jolly jumps for the kids, and tons of giveaways, including a free 12-pack just for stopping by, free AirPods with a qualified test drive, a free Target gift card with purchase, and of course, the big backpack giveaway. Stop by now and get your kids signed up. The Back to School Blowout, Saturday the 24th at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
Chimera has been providing Southeast New Mexico's state-of-the-art medical care for over 22 years. Chimera specializes in providing top-quality care for cancer patients, diabetes, thyroid conditions, heart disease, and rheumatoid conditions. Chimera would like to welcome Chris McGoldrick to the team. He brings a wealth of knowledge and compassion to Chimera. Chris specializes in rheumatoid conditions and is ready to help you. Call Chimera 627-9500. Chimera Independent Physicians, here for you.
One of the most devastating effects of the 6-year-long World War II was the children who were orphaned. Thousands upon thousands of little children were left with no one to care for them. So many of them were left crying late into the night, calling out for mommy and daddy. One orphanage tried something new that would help the children sleep through the night. They sent them to bed with a loaf of bread. Guess what? It worked. The bread represented stability, or at least one more meal for the next day. While we're not left orphaned after World War II, we often lay down at night restless from an ever-changing world. Maybe we need to go to bed with some bread. Jesus told his followers, I am the bread of life. For us, Jesus is our stability factor. He is the promise of a better tomorrow. The Bible tells us that if we give our anxieties and worries and requests to God, He will give us peace that is beyond understanding. So this week, give your unrest to God. He will give you peace.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. It's considered good luck in Japan when a sumo wrestler makes your baby cry. But who gets the good luck, the sumo wrestler or the baby? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:56. Hey, just a reminder that if you're going to go out to the zoo today, it's not open. It will not be open until 4 o'clock this evening. And that is because they want to invite everybody out for tonight's Zoofari Nights. Tonight, everything will start at 4 o'clock. They open up the zoo at 4 o'clock. They're going to be showing a movie at 8:15. They've got, for more information and stuff, the gates will open at 4 o'clock. You can get tickets then. You can go online to springriverzoo.com and learn more information there. But the Zoofari Nights, that's tonight. Come out for a movie, come out and enjoy the zoo, everything. Beginning at 4 o'clock is when the gates open. The movie will start at 8:15 tonight out at the Spring River Zoo. So if you're planning on taking the family out earlier today or earlier in the day to the zoo, it's not open. So, but it will be at 4 o'clock. So just as they get ready for Zoofari. Again, that is tonight. Also, today is day 2, the final day of Battle of the Badges with Vitalent. They are pitting the firefighters and law enforcement together against each other to save lives, collecting, donating blood the proper way, by the way. But they're going to be at the chamber today from 9 a.m. to 1. So here in about an hour, they're going to be setting up. Call or text Stephanie with Vitalent to get an appointment, 575-840-8178. Again, that's 575-840-8178. And she'll get you an appointment scheduled. I'm not sure on the walk-ins. I guess you can give it a try. The worst thing to say is we can't do it right now. But if you really have a desire, please get involved and donate blood. It's a great way. Of course, you donate blood, and you get to pick whether it counts towards the firefighters or the police officers. I always like to say, hey, if you're going to pick one for one, bring a friend that'll vote opposite, and then you cancel each other out, and everybody wins. So that's the way I like it. But please, that's from 9 to 1. Today's your last chance to be a part of Battle of the Badges for here in Roswell. Now, you can always donate blood at any time. We'll get you more on that. But if you want to get involved in this and have some fun there, 9 to 1 today. And it's a great way to help our community and make sure that we always have enough blood on the shelves for those in need. Also, don't forget next week, July 22nd and 23rd, the Roswell Independent School District is having a job fair. It will be also at the Roswell Chamber of Commerce, 131 West 2nd. It'll be the 22nd in the evening from 6 to 8:30 p.m., and then the next day, the 23rd, midday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Job openings for pretty much everything at the district. Teaching staff, all grade levels, nurses, custodial, janitorial, substitute teachers, support staff, cafeteria workers, and more. You can speak with representatives from special services, custodial, cafeteria, substitute teaching, all teaching positions, departments from all of those. You can apply online ahead of time. Log on to the RISD website. There's a lot of dots. You might just want to Google this one, but www.risd.k12.nm.us. You can also Google Roswell Independent School District and get to the same page. But if you want to go direct, risd.k12.nm.us. And make plans to attend next week, 22nd and 23rd at the Roswell Chamber of Commerce. All right, it is time for news. We'll be back. Don't go away.
Roswell's home for talk radio is 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. A sharp rise in coronavirus cases since California reopened its economy a month ago, prompting Los Angeles County to reimpose an indoor mask requirement.
Los Angeles County Health Officer Dr. Montu Davis says too many people have been contracting COVID-19 lately.
We've reported over 1,000 new cases a day over the last 7 days. This average case rate is at a substantial community transmission level.
Many of the cases are the highly transmissible Delta variant, and Davis calls it an all-hands-on-deck moment.
We will be implementing an order requiring masking indoors, regardless of vaccination.
It goes into effect just before midnight Saturday. I'm Ben Thomas.
The Biden administration preparing to hit some Chinese Communist Party officials with sanctions over Beijing's crackdown on liberty in Hong Kong.
The situation in Hong Kong is deteriorating, and the Chinese government is not keeping its commitment that it made how it would deal with Hong Kong.
And President Biden asked about the unrest in Cuba, where thousands have flooded the streets in recent days.
Communism is a failed system, universally failed system. And I don't see socialism as a very useful substitute, but that's another story.
Efforts to recover human remains from the debris of the South Florida condo building are nearing an end. 92 of the 97 confirmed dead have now been identified. County officials have accounted for at least 240 people connected to the building, with just a few still classified as potentially unaccounted for. A surprisingly strong retail sales report for the month of June. It's giving Wall Street a boost this morning, with stocks higher. The Dow is up 66 points. NASDAQ Composite Index ahead 25, and the S&P 5 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover. All for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 3388 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 3388. Enjoy.
Flash flooding across parts of western Germany and Belgium has claimed more than 100 lives. The search goes on for hundreds who are still missing.
Authorities in one German state say 50 people died there. 9 of those killed lived in an assisted living facility for people with disabilities. In the neighboring German state, officials put the death toll there at 30, but warn that figure could rise further. Belgian broadcaster RTBF says floodwaters have killed at least 12 people in that country.
That's correspondent Andrew Stewart. Protesters angry over water shortages have taken to the streets of an oil-rich province in southwestern Iran. An online video seems to show police firing weapons to disperse the crowds. It's not immediately clear if anyone has been wounded or arrested in those demonstrations in multiple cities. There's been nothing in the Iranian state media about the unrest. News and analysis at townhall.com. The feds aim to take down those responsible for recent ransomware attacks, and millions in reward money will be offered.
The State Department wants information that could help identify anyone engaged in cyber attacks against critical U.S. infrastructure, like the ransomware attack that forced Colonial Pipeline to shut down for a time in May, leading to long lines at gas pumps on the East Coast. What the Biden administration isn't saying is whether it had a hand in the online disappearance of REvil, the Russian-linked gang responsible for a supply chain ransomware attack 2 weeks ago that crippled over 1,000 organizations around the world. I'm Rita Foley.
From the air and on the ground, crews continue battling scores of destructive wildfires in the west. Gusty winds, intense heat, and tinder-dry conditions make the difficult work all the more dangerous. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number, and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it, flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ, the travel witch, and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
Good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're going to jump right in. We're going to bypass all the welcomes and good mornings this hour because we're jumping right into the business. Joining us on the phone this morning is Congresswoman Yvette Herrell. Good morning, ma'am. How are you doing today?
I am doing great, and it's great to be with you again.
Well, it's we always appreciate spending time with you and chit-chat. I know they always pull you in 37 different directions and things, so it's nice to get a chance to spend a few minutes with you. So we do appreciate that.
That's right. It's just imagine like a piece of dough on a counter and then a rolling pin.
Yeah.
Just spreading out. So, but it's a good day. I'm so blessed to be able to do it.
Well, how I know you're are you in the district right now? Or are you back in D.C.?
I'm in the district. Came back for the 4th of July, and we've been in recess there. And then I'm actually flying back this weekend.
Okay,
and
so
then
back to work this weekend, or at least back to the Hill this weekend. It's not like the work doesn't stop.
Right, exactly. But yes.
So, real quick, before we kind of talk about what you got ahead here, when you're back in the district, what kind of the stuff do you get to work on there when you're not? I mean, is that the chance for you to get to talk with constituents and things, or is it more than that?
Yeah, it's interesting because even when I'm back in district, we still are having committee hearings, which are done virtual when we're on basically recess.
Yeah.
But it does give me the opportunity to go. What I try to do is get around as much as the district as I can, depending on how many days I'm here. And then I have an opportunity to visit. Like yesterday, I had a visit with the gentleman from the National Federation of Independent Businesses, NFIB. Got to visit with PMS, which is the medical provider all over the district, had a meeting with their group this week. And, so I'm just having meetings with different constituent groups, different industries, just having conversations about what's happening, what are we watching out for. We did a really great town hall, a conference call with medical providers, physicians all over the district on Monday. And what we're working on is a way to improve the pre-existing condition. What is happening is the doctors are saying, hey, we need to do a knee surgery on this person.
Mm-hmm.
But the insurance company is saying, well, before we approve that, let's do 10 weeks of physical therapy. And what ends up happening is it's devastating because sometimes, because they don't do the surgery when they think they need it done, there's sometimes irreversible damage. So this is a real problem for our physicians, and they also spend a lot of time trying to collect from the insurance company. So I had a physician, one of the doctors caucus, a Congresswoman Miller Meeks, was on the phone. We had a teleconference with physicians from all over the district working on some issues we can have the state address, but also the federal Congress can address. So really, keeping our finger on the pulse of things that are problematic, if you will. So it's good to get to see people, and then of course when there's time, or if I can get to a Republican meeting or something like that, it's always nice to attend those.
Yeah, we got there's a lot going on in the world today, but that's a problem that that's been a problem as long as I can remember, is when it comes to the healthcare. When obviously insurance companies are insurance companies, and at the end of the day, they're private companies that turn profit. But at the same time, you want to balance that to where at the end of the day, they're footing the bill for the medical procedures and what have you, but we don't want them making the healthcare decisions on a patient either. And that's where we got to find that, where the doctors are now not able to do their job because the insurance companies are refusing to pay for basically what the expert in the room is telling them what needs to happen here. And
that's exactly right. Yeah. Or, in our family, I have a personal experience, because you're right. The doctors will make the determination on what needs to happen. And for instance, and it's also not just what the procedure is, but what kind of medical equipment can be used. So for instance, my sister last year fell on some stairs and broke her hip. So she had emergency surgery, but the insurance company would not approve the more higher quality grade medical equipment she needed. So we did the surgery, and 6 months later she's walking and the thing just cracks in half. So back to the hospital, another emergency surgery. And of course, the second time around, the insurance company did approve the better quality, and I don't know the medical terms, but the medical equipment she needed within her hip, and ended up having then a full hip replacement. But and we had this discussion on the phone, that cost over double what it would have costed if we just would have done it right the first time.
Yeah.
And then, we were talking about the rehab, so literally she was sidelined for almost a year with that entire process. And so it's those kinds of things. And you're right, you've got the medical expert making the determination, and then you call the insurance company, and it's, somebody, at a call center going through probably a manual thinking, well, nah. Yeah. And so it's very problematic. And the cost of prescription drugs as well. That's another thing that we're addressing. So to me, these are issues that this is everybody. This is not one of those Republican or Democrat issues. And what I have found, honestly, Mike, is so many of the things we can work on that would better the people of New Mexico and the people of America they're not partisan issues. They're just common sense. Let's find a better way to lower costs and streamline the process to help the physicians and the patients.
Yeah, you're right. It's and this is where politics meets government that's bad. And
right.
Where we're so wrapped up in the political side of it that we're not getting the work done. And
exactly.
And that's we talk. I mean, we could have the polarizing issues, your abortions, and obviously there's clear divide on what we agree or disagree on those things, but. Because of those things, it screws up the ability to get the things that, we all get, what we all want to be able to go to the doctor, get the services we need, and get it paid for without the hassle and worries that it shouldn't be there. We all agree that,
right.
And that's where, unfortunately, those areas don't get fixed because we're too busy yelling at each other about these other polarizing issues. And so they use issues like this to hold over the head of the other to do all that. And at the end of the day, the person that loses is we the people. And
that's exactly right.
Yeah.
And, and I've had to remind several groups that I've talked to, this silent majority or the sitting on the sideline just kind of rolling with the punches. I said, listen, this is a gut punch every day, but there are so many things that we can really be speaking about and talking about and getting engaged in that would really be beneficial. And so I think, I feel as though there's a little bit of an urgency. People seem to be now paying closer attention. We came through the pandemic. That was just very, just that whole year was just crazy for everyone. And of course, as we've started to come out of that, open back up, and we're seeing more, activity throughout the state and throughout the communities. Now I think people are starting to go, well, wait a minute, now the gas prices are getting, they're over 45% higher than they were 1 year ago. Groceries are going up. I mean, I think the reality of, okay, what is happening? People are starting to question what is going on. And I think now we're seeing, my sense is people are, in my opinion, the ones I've visited with, they're not caught up in the rhetoric or that polarizing, like you say, just these crazy debates that aren't really beneficial to their little day-to-day lives. I mean, right now the biggest issue, one of them, is how are we going to get the workforce back into these businesses?
And that's what now. Yeah,
it's nationwide. And here's what's heartbreaking. It's twofold. You've got a handful of small businesses in New Mexico that somehow held on to that pandemic, and now they are facing the question of closing their doors because of lack of workforce. Here they thought, okay, once this is all lifted, we can get everybody back in and start, turning a profit or recover some of our losses. Now they're not able to do that. So then on the other hand, you've got a segment of people who've stayed in the workforce who are sitting there going, well, wait a minute, I stayed very committed to my job and to my employer and, went through all this, and now my coworkers are still at home. So it's not a great situation, and sadly, it's not just about New Mexico in this case, it is nationwide, and you just pick an industry and everyone is feeling that squeeze of not having the workforce back into the jobs that are open. So that's something that I'm hopeful that they will. I understand there are some families that absolutely need the kind of the hand up, if you will, but there are a lot that are taking advantage. In fact, Congressman Brady, with Ways and Means, he's out of Texas. He put out I don't know if you saw it, but there was a little report he put out a couple of weeks ago, and he said, with all of these stimulus checks and all of these benefits, the average household of four is receiving about $100,000 from the federal government with these relief packages. That's a lot of money. And then you understand why people that have maybe made 30, 40, 50, 60,000 a year, and those are, for New Mexico, those are very good wages. Yeah. But we can see where this amount of stimulus will have that impact. So I'm hopeful that they will not extend that. I feel like our businesses deserve it. This is the backbone of our economy, not only here, but obviously around the nation. So that's something obviously we're watching. But it's just, to me, again, that's a reality that people have. People are concerned about the border issues. These are the kinds of conversations that I'm having with constituents, whether it's a policy, lack of workforce, concern about border, especially when I'm speaking with our law enforcement agencies around the district. So, yeah, there's a lot we could be doing for the people, and seems like the people are getting pushed to the sides while we, grandstand and, watch our colleagues get arrested, for protesting in the Senate yesterday. Just kind of crazy stuff instead of the reality. So it's a strange world of politics.
It is, and it's one of those. I almost, as an American, a part of me, because I'm torn when I see all this stuff, and I'm sure you have some of these same feelings here, because at the end of the day, we all want this country to be awesome. We want it. We want our citizens to have every opportunity they want. They want the ability to, to live and live free and to live happy. We all want that, I think, and it gets frustrating. So part of me, I see this and I'm like, well, maybe the politics will deteriorate so much where the American public finally puts their foot down and says enough of this. Part of me hopes that gets to the point, but then part of me says, well, how much gets destroyed in the process of doing that? So I get very scared when I see this stuff, because part of me is saying maybe this will finally impact the change we need at some, get some of that partisan, and even some. I would even say I'm one of those folks, and I know you kind of agree with some of this. Is some of the congressional. We need some I guess you'd say some kind of oversight on Congress. I think there's a lot of power. Term limits. I think from the start there, and then complete reform on how. I mean, even like how committees are selected and all that. I think that's just a very. And you and I have talked about that. I just think it's a very. It's a process that really allows people in power to kick back their friends and things for, and instead of putting the people in the right committees that really should be on those committees based on experience and expertise.
That's right.
And I think we need to go from that factor versus and let's face it, and you and I talked about, there's certain committees in there that are money generating. They get lobbyists that you know what I mean? The good committees versus committees that don't get all that action and how people end up in those committees. It's all the good old boy network. It's your party's in power, and you get on it don't matter. Like let's just for instance, Congresswoman Yvette Harrell with her background, everything, energy and all that. You'd think you'd be sitting on all the energy committees and things, but
that's right.
But no, that's where big bucks is. So you got to get your seniority to get in those kind of committees.
That's right. It's really, and you're that's exactly right. And especially on the Democratic side, obviously whoever's in control, it is a power, and it's lockstep. It's, in my opinion, it's a lot of times reward for bad behavior.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for instance, and you make a great point, because here's and it is concerning, because Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House, just created I can't remember the name of this committee. This was just 2 weeks ago. She created this new, committee, oversight type committee, but it's called like disparity or something like this. And guess who's the chair of that? AOC. This is a bartender from New York who, in my opinion, the only business experience she has is putting a credit card number in, Amazon.com and making an order online. Mm-hmm. And that's business experience, instead of understanding, balance sheets, the cost of doing business, forecasting, the yields on if it's an ag operation. I mean, all these things, that really impact our day-to-day lives in terms of regulation, all of this. And we've got somebody who thinks the Green New Deal, who we all laughed about, 5 years ago, and now here we are seeing it in almost every single piece of legislation that's being passed out of the House.
Mm-hmm.
But, you're exactly right. Term limits, I think that is the only thing that our founders missed. I don't think they ever thought people would go and serve for 20, 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
And that is one of the first bills I signed on to. I am a firm believer in term limits, because I think it's important that we're turning over the mantle, that we're bringing the fresh ideas, and not getting to that place where you see it, and you mentioned earlier,
mm-hmm.
The special interest groups are calling the shot, or they're, it's funny to me how, and I will be the first to just give everybody this misnomer. People think that once you serve, that you get that salary for the rest of your life. That is not true. And the retirement is just like a normal business. You pay into it, and you've got to get vested. If you leave after a certain time,
sure.
before you're vested, it's all and the healthcare also. I had to go to the exchange. It's not what people kind of think it is.
Yeah.
But what is sad is it is these, like you said, these lobbyists that get hold of these people,
mm-hmm.
and that's then we see it all the time. We see the decisions being made are placating to what the lobbyists want,
sure.
versus they've done a job of kind of pushing the people to the back.
Mm-hmm.
And I told them, I've had several conversations this last 2 weeks, and I told people, look, we got to remember who the government works for. They work for us. We don't work for them. And we've got to be, I think, off the sidelines now. And I do feel, like I said earlier, it feels like there's more a sense of urgency or involvement. And it used to be, there'd be maybe a tax bill or Obamacare or, 2 or 3 big topics that we talk about. Now, you just pick a topic, whether it's farming and ranching, energy, border, military, healthcare, education with the CRT. I mean, you just pick a topic, and there is a bad policy coming your way, and that's what's unfortunate.
And all that's due to the fact because, hey, we're beholden to this this group because they supported me here or kicked back me here. So they turn from doing good government for the people to good government for the people that they are beholden to, and that's
right.
That's where we the people lose out on that, and I think that's if we started in those areas, just term limits and oversight on that kind of stuff, we could see light years of progress happening in Congress. That's just my opinion.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and just like even like the infrastructure bill that went through, that bill is such a misnomer. It passed the House on a party line vote. Now the Senate is supposedly continuing to work on language for a different infrastructure bill that actually addresses infrastructure. But the House version that passed it's $2 trillion. I mean, we're on track to have spent $10 trillion in the last year with all these crazy bills they're trying to pass. But for instance, in that bill, $1 out of every $2, so half of it, doesn't even go to infrastructure. It goes to a Green New Deal. It's crazy. And then it's a 6-year, there's not, the infrastructure, quote unquote, doesn't start for up to 6 years. So this is just a crazy amount of money to be spending when it's not really going to address what normal, like you and I and people and, all over the district think of infrastructure. No doubt, we understand we do need improvements to our roads, water systems, broadband. We get that. But when we're just passing bills, and here's what it is: what's in the bill is more spending on implementing this Green New Deal and setting up the climate task force and all these things, than actually going, hey, let's go to small town New Mexico and help on an infrastructure project that would actually bring better water, save energy, give them a utility that actually would benefit the consumer. No, we don't do that. So it makes too much sense. So, and I love sitting on the oversight committee because that is the committee that, roots out, waste, fraud, and abuse.
Sure.
However, being in the minority, unfortunately, the only kind of bills we've heard since I've been there have been equality pay. How come women don't make as much as men? I mean, it's so racial and racially driven, so many of these policies and equality. And, it baffles me to think, Americans are hurting.
What?
We want our kids to have a good education. We want our businesses open, and we're worried about why women soccer players, make less than men.
Well,
it just baffles me.
You're right, and but I think if you think of an oversight committee instead of are we getting kicked off?
No, I'm okay.
Okay, I just heard a beeping. I don't know. Let me. I don't know what that is. Let me get off. Sorry about that. You still there?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We got the alarm. Is everything okay?
Oh, I think I just accidentally hit the wrong one. Uh-oh. Let me call a congresswoman back. There we go. Congresswoman? Oh, hold on. Let me flip you over here. Sorry about that. Okay, now I think
it's fine.
There we go. Now we're back. Sorry about that.
Okay. No, it's fine.
I had a call come in and it messed everything up. My apologies there. I know we don't have you much longer here, but I do want to point out that we were talking about the oversight committee there, and as me outside looking in, you think as an oversight committee, you guys don't really get presented, all right, these are the things we want you to vote on or to discuss. As an oversight committee, you should kind of have carte blanche to pick your own agendas and pick the only things that you are choosing to see if there's oversight on. It's kind of that would seem more of the check and balance to me rather than saying, hey, we need to take a look at these things. And it's like, okay, but there's other things too. We go wherever we want. You don't present to us the things that you think are bad. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think you should have some kind of ability to check on these other areas and seeing, hey, is there true oversight here or what kind of pork mess is going on here,
And you bring out a great point. So we all know there are 4 meat processing plants, the 4 big ones that actually process about 80% of the beef and chicken consumption in the United States. Mm-hmm. And a few weeks ago, one was compromised with a ransomware. So I wrote a letter to the chairman of the oversight committee, and I said, hey, we need to have an oversight hearing with these 4 big producers, number one, so we can understand why and how they're driving the market share. So they're pushing out the smaller producer. When I say smaller producer, that's about 10,000 head of cattle and lower. So several people in New Mexico affected by this. So I said, I'd like to know how and why they're driving the market and why our ranchers have a 12 to 18-month investment in every head of, with every beef steer they have. And yet when they sell it to the packing plant, they are receiving less money than they have in about the last 10 years. So they're maybe making a profit if they're lucky, but most of them not. So let's look into why is there a conglomerate with these four, and then let's also look at the security of their infrastructure as it relates to ransomware or attacks, because that shut one beef processing plant for several days. If they were attacked where all four of those plants got hacked, I mean, think about how much.
It's catastrophic.
That's 80%. Oh, catastrophic is, that's 80% of the beef and chicken consumed by this country. So if they shut that down, so that food supply, that resource, that is a national security issue. But even as important is how are they monopolizing the market where our beef producers, our ag operations are really getting the short end of the stick. And so to me, that's a great example of what we should be seeing in oversight. Of course, I haven't had a response from her, but here's, for an example, I'll give you another example of one of the bills we heard, birthing while black. Why is that an oversight issue? How about if we're going to look at having babies, how about for all women?
Right.
How about for all Americans? How about for all races and cultures and colors? Why? And that's why I say, everything is so very segregated, and even within Congress, you can see the push to really, segregate, and it's just so sad because our country's so much better than that.
Yeah, that's
we know we are.
It's a confusing message. They keep, and it
That's
is,
right.
and it's a slippery slope we're going down right now with some of this stuff, because anytime you promote one race over another for any reason, it creates a problem. And and I want the equal opportunities for everybody. That's the way it should be. But when you're at a point where you're excluding a race of people for something for any reason, you're creating the next generation of racism and dissent, in my opinion.
And you're creating the next generation for setting them up for failure, because here's the thing. We understand that our nation is built of a number of different cultures and races, and we understand our history. And we understand that we have a very valuable nation that obviously people want to break the law to get here illegally. But here's the thing. When we start trying to pretend or avoid our real, true history and how we got to where we are, and like you said, just push one race class over another, all we've done is we've tried to erase the very vital past, and we're setting ourselves up for a future. If you don't recall and remember and know and learn from what your past is, then you are going to, it will just be obvious that you will make the same mistakes over and over. And it is confusing because, all of us come from mixed culture backgrounds. We all do. And so it does send a very difficult message to not only our children, but even in our own, worlds today, many of us have mixed culture relatives and family members and friends and all this, and now it's just driving that wedge, and it's absolutely ridiculous, and it's dangerous.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, it is absolutely dangerous. So it's a sad day, but I still feel so blessed to be there. And I've just decided, listen, I want to make sure we're talking about the real. I don't think it's enough to say, yes, we're really busy in oversight. We've had some crazy bills. I think people need to know the truth. They need to hear what is really going on in Congress, on any level of government, so they can be more informed, because clearly the mainstream media and Facebook and all this, they're not going to tell people the real ins and outs of what's going on, know. And I think that it's just important that voters and constituents and business owners and families understand this is very reckless, and it is very worrisome to see that we're on the Capitol Hill aspect, we're driving more of this racial issue and these types of things versus, hey, how do we get people back in the workforce? How do we jumpstart the economy? How do we help New Mexico lower that high unemployment rate? How do we secure the border and keep these, illicit drugs like fentanyl and the methamphetamines out of our streets, out of our schools, out of our neighborhoods. You know, these are real life problems.
Absolutely.
Yet no one in DC wants to address them because we'd rather talk about things that, quite honestly, I have not been approached by anybody in the district that is feeling like this critical race theory is a great idea, or, you know, that this birthing while black was somehow helpful to them in their current state of economy with their children. You know, and don't get me wrong, I think there's always a valid point to some things, but when we're not talking and solving the problems that are affecting our day-to-day lives and helping the people who sent us there to make things better, I think then we've missed our mark as a member, you know, as Congress. And I know I'm in the minority, so it's very difficult to get things done, but it's not difficult to speak about this stuff all the time and let people know, you know, kind of the inside track on what's happening.
Yeah, you know, it's I know, and I'm glad you know that you understand that too. As a congresswoman representing the 2nd Congressional District in New Mexico, there's only so much powers and things you can do to try to, you know, get to people to see, but the one thing you can do, because you have a pulpit now, and you can when you can't change it, you can expose it and hope it brings to light these things and forces enough people to force that change to happen, you know, and that's
right.
Yeah.
And you're right. And so many of these issues are this I know that so many times the media and so many things, they want to push this and make it a Republican versus Democrat. I'm going to tell you, Mike, the things that you and I have been talking about, these are not partisan issues. These are people issues. These are real life. My check's not getting any bigger. Prices of gas, prices of food, prices of normal commodities are going through the roof. How am I going to make ends meet? I mean, these are the real life issues that are hitting everybody, not just Republicans, not just Democrats. And that's where I hope that as the next number of, you know, months move ahead, that we can start understanding that as people, we need to get united together and start utilizing our collective voices and move kind of that partisan politics, that divisiveness out of the way, and have real, genuine conversations about policies that can actually help, or in most cases that's coming out now, hurt the American people.
Absolutely. I know I'm surprised Casey hasn't yelled at me yet.
I know, right? He's probably not monitoring this. I'm surprised. Okay. I know, because a minute ago you said, did you hear beep? But it wasn't on my end.
Yeah, it was on my end apparently. But
yeah, yeah, so, that's funny because
But we do appreciate you talking with us, and you're right. I appreciate the fight that you have right now, and I'm very glad you're there and understand it, and I don't envy you in that work ahead of you, but I'm so glad that you're very aware and very knowing what's coming next and got to handle your business. And I think we here in Southeast New Mexico and Southern New Mexico are pretty thankful that you're there to at least make sure our voice isn't ignored, you know.
You bet. Well, it's like I said, it's my honor to do it, and it's always so great to be home, because it's like that chicken soup for the soul, you know, when I get to be around the New Mexicans and just be, you know, entrenched again in our way of life here, in our culture and our Mexican food, you know, our chili. It's always a good day. So I think, to me, it's just imperative that I'm running around the district and talking in person and on the radio and everywhere I can to just let people know, here's what's going on. You know, now you can try to make informed decisions on what your next steps will be, because here are the policies coming down, and, you know, and this, I think, just information is power. And when people have that information, then they can make informed decisions and understand what government is doing to them or their livelihoods or even their children's education.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you know, you said something that was good to come home. You're DC. I grew up there, so I know, but DC is way different than New Mexico. The mindset, the people, it's just a different way of looking at life than we do it out here in New Mexico. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just different. And so
it's very different. Yeah. I see it, especially on, you know, when you get into the Capitol Hill area. It's you know, and it's very interesting, because I see people that are very engaged in their districts and going home all the time, and, you know, and then I see other people that don't leave the Hill. They kind of like that lifestyle. It's very different, and to me, it's like living in a one of those snow globes.
Yeah.
It's not really, it's beautiful and it's very interesting, and I appreciate the history there in terms of our monuments and all that. But you're in a little bit of a snow globe. The real world is outside this, back in New Mexico, back in small town New Mexico and back in the farming communities and back in our day-to-day reality. So I just think it's important not to, and I think this is why term limits is so important. You get people that all of a sudden get a little too comfortable in the snow globe, and it's not that fun to come back and hear. I think it's just, I just love New Mexico, but I love the people, and I'm so appreciative of this. I just want to make sure I'm talking to folks all the time. But that's, and I think there's some accountability to that. And, I'll go and people ask hard questions, and, most times I have an answer, sometimes I don't. But I know then what's on the minds of the people of New Mexico.
Sure.
I know where their concerns are. I know, what they're thinking, and I think that just makes me better. Even if it, like you said, it's just being that drum and being that voice, it makes me better in terms of bringing those true concerns and values that are so dear to New Mexico to Washington.
Well, I've seen it firsthand, too, when you talk about, like, when, people ask you questions, sometimes you know the answer, sometimes you don't. But when those times where you don't know the answer, I know what happens next. You get your staff and you work on getting an answer for that person. And so it's not an ignored, even if you don't know the answer. I've seen you do it where, all right, well, I'll get my staff and we're going to come up with an answer or at least an understanding of what you're talking about here. And you do that every time.
And boy, and the staff, again, brought them up. What a blessing it's been to have just such a great group of individuals, just the talent and the skill sets and the willingness to just, always help me do my very best. So we've been so blessed to have the group we have and really have done a lot of good things with constituent services as it relates to helping with casework. I mean, we've done hundreds and actually we have about a 96% closed approval on a lot of our casework, which is amazing. But, we have a veterans liaison who works specifically with our veterans, attends their meetings, works with them with their casework, because I just think that there is a real need to be engaged with the veteran community. And I, in fact, just signed on to a bill that would absolutely take down the barriers so it would give our veterans the ability to receive health care, whether it's behavioral health, physical therapy, regular medical, through any avenue, through any provider, because we just made it so tough on our veterans to receive medical services. And so I'm hopeful that bill, there's several co-sponsors on it, so I'm hopeful that bill gets some legs and moves, because there you go. There's a great bill that would benefit a very large population among the country, and deservedly so. And, and here's what's sad. The conversations with healthcare and some of the transportation problems that our veterans are having, same conversations, Mike, we were having when I was a state representative, same conversation. I mean, these are, 10, 8, 9, 10 years old and beyond. It's time to stop that, kicking the can down the road, and let's get serious about getting some viable healthcare options available to our veterans. And so, to me, that's one of those things, like you said earlier, it's kind of a no-brainer. This is just something we should have done a long time ago. So we really push on that, but we have a liaison that works closely with our veterans all over the district. So, just trying to make sure that we're listening to the constituency, working on, issues, or at least writing letters on their behalf, in terms of industry, and just keeping the heartbeat of what is important to New Mexico at the forefront.
Absolutely. Speaking of that, and maybe this is probably where we call it the wrap. If folks do want to get a hold of you in your office, what's probably the best way to get? Is it through your offices locally or online? What's probably, if someone has a question or an issue that they would want to put in front of you, what's probably the best way to do that right now?
Yeah, the best way to do it. We just redid our website, so it's got a lot of good stuff on it, the letters and everything we've done. But it's just Herrell, HERRELL.house.gov, and on there, then you can send an email. You can sign up for our newsletter. You can get the phone numbers for our DC office, also our Las Cruces and our Roswell offices. But it's a great website, and it has a lot of information on terms of different issues and that we're working on. And so it's herald.house.gov.
Okay.
That's probably the fastest way. And of course, we've got a great team of interns in our office this summer, and so those young men are just incredible. Have been so honored. And let me just say, there is great hope for our country. I gauge that on the caliber of these interns that have wanted to come up and spend their summer in a congressional office, and it has been such a refreshing sight to see. I mean, these are 18 to 21-year-olds, and they are smart and motivated, and I think to myself, the future of our country is going places, because these young people are really more engaged than what social media or mainstream media would want you to believe.
Sure. Yeah, and that's your how, if you're wanting to, it's like, how do people work as clerks and getting, and even in, some of this is it. They start at 18 interning for different members of Congress or different other entities in government, and they learn the ropes. They learn how business is done, and then they go on to be your chiefs of staff or the representative or senator or whoever. This is the ground level of getting into the life of government, is starting out as an intern, managing schedules, updating. That's how they get the foot in the door. So
that's exactly right.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So it's great to see that the young crop here is got a good head on their shoulders. That's good.
Oh, they do. It just it makes my heart smile. Because you see the energy and the interest. I mean, they're genuinely interested in policies. And so when the interns we pair them. So as an example, if there's one that has a real interest in, say, communications, then we pair that one with our communications director, so that you help with the social media or the graphics or the newsletters we send out. If we have one that's more interested in policy, then we put them with our policy director, so they can kind of understand the process of how bills are crafted and written in Washington, D.C. And then I'll take them to committee hearings with me. I'll take them. They can't get on the House floor, but I'll take them over to the Capitol with me, so they can kind of go through that whole process. And it's, what's great is not only are they doing a great service in our office, but they're networking, they're meeting friends. There's a lot of interns on the Hill, and it's very exciting to watch these young men. Right now, we don't have any young ladies yet, but I know we will.
Ladies apply.
These young men, though, it's good for the soul, because they're meeting people, they're doing stuff. But let me tell you about this group, because I know we got to get off here. But they were here for this. They're here for the summer. Some of them are leaving. So I told them before we came on recess, I said, I'm going to be here. That was a couple of weekends ago. I said, I'm here. So I want to go and do something fun with you guys, and I'll let you guys pick what we go do. And, of course, everybody wants to go to baseball games, but the Nationals were out of state that day.
Oh, they were out of town.
Yeah. But I thought they were going to say, well, let's take the boat up to Mount Vernon, or let's, go over to National Island or whatever it's called and do the Ferris wheel. I thought it was going to be stuff like that. You know what they picked? They picked the Museum of the Bible.
Really?
I mean, it's a fascinating.
I've never been to that museum. I've been to a bunch.
Oh my gosh!
I missed that one. The museum. There's a couple I haven't been to, but
I had never been in it either, and it is fascinating, and there's a lot of interaction in it, which I did not know, and so it was a fascinating tour, and in fact, obviously we spent like 4 or 5 hours there. I was shocked, but collectively they had all wanted to go to that museum, and of course the museums were just starting to get back open again, and I mean, I tell you, these kids are incredible, and it was a great day, and so we spent the whole day together and hung out with the interns and, take them to lunch and just, because I appreciate, one, their interest in our country and what we're founded on. But so I always try to make it a good time for our guys, so that, one, because I'm so appreciative, but two, I just appreciate them for wanting to be involved and to take that time from their summer. And come up and spend it in D.C. So it's a great life experience, and I know they're meeting lot of new friends and taking with them some experience that will carry them through maybe for their next step or their next chapter in life. So it's a great opportunity.
If you ever get a chance to do another trip, and I know they get to pick and all that, and I know, like you said, Mount Vernon and all that, but one that's a little outside the Beltway, if you ever get a chance, go up to Baltimore to the Inner Harbor and Fort McHenry area. That's a beautiful, neat area, too, to check out if you ever get a chance. I know I'll
have to do it.
There's some bad parts of Baltimore to stay, but Inner Harbor, by where the Orioles play and the Ravens play, that area, and then Fort McHenry, which is right there. And, of course, that's where the Star-Spangled Banner came from, Francis Scott Key, all of that right there. And that's the fort there. That's a cool little, if you're a history buff, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But the Inner Harbor is really cool, too.
It is, and I think it's really neat because there's so many things close by Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
And like you said, for the history and just to see, the beginnings of our nation and the architecture and just the monuments and all these things that really make us so unique and special as a nation. It really is. I mean, to me, I think it's worthy of a trip to D.C. I think I got an email last night that said they are taking or have taken all the fences down, and I think they're going to now start opening the Capitol back up. See, it's been closed for any kind of tours. It hasn't ever been open.
I guess since COVID, probably, yeah.
Since COVID. So it looks like that might be, opening up, and that would be great. Because I know there's been a lot of people from New Mexico that have been trying to plan trips out there to go to the Capitol, but the Capitol's been closed. So I'm hopeful that opens up. But anyway, but it's just a great opportunity, and so grateful for the kids, and I'm grateful to spend so much time with you today.
Yeah,
oh my
gosh! I had a guest on that show, so it all kind of worked out. I had a guest who was supposed to be in, but I hadn't seen him, so I was like, well, I'll just keep talking to the congressman.
Heck yeah, you did. I'll keep talking. Casey hasn't texted me or anything.
And I haven't got a text saying get off or shut up. So I was like, I'm going to.
I know, right? I haven't either. So
well, I'm probably let you go now, though. So because I'm sure you have other things to do today.
I kind of do, but I've just appreciated this, and it's just been such a nice conversation. I've enjoyed it so much.
I always spend time, and I'd love next time you get if you're in Roswell and we can do this again. I'd love to do that. We could chit chat in person and talk more about what you're seeing, and slip a crab cake story or something in there too.
There you go. Sounds like a plan.
All
right. Well, you have a great weekend, and thank you, and just God bless you, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, ma'am. God bless you, and we'll talk to you again soon. Take care.
Sounds good. All right. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. All right, that was Congresswoman Yvette Harrell. Yes, we got a little bonus time with her. Bill Williams, I hadn't seen him. I kept checking with Tanner. Is he here? No. I was like, all right, I'm just going to keep talking to the Congresswoman until they yell at me. So there you go. Those are the kind of interviews that infuriate my boss, but so be it. I'm here doing a show, man. All right, it is 8:51. You know what? Real quick, before we get you into a quick break and news and all that, Zia Guns USA here in Roswell, they've got in stock right now the Rossi 22 caliber rifles. They're on sale for just $149 while supplies last. Zia Guns also is now a full-line Tacticam dealer. The same ones you see on all the hunting shows worldwide. They got them right there at Zia Guns USA here in Roswell. Also, a new shipment of knives came in, bench knives and case knives. New shipment right now at Zia Guns USA here in Roswell. Also, they're buying guns. They got cash on hand. Yes, in pocket. And they're going to make you an offer on your cash. You're walking out the door with that cold, hard cash. They're buying guns, gun collections, entire estate sales. They're doing it all at Zia Guns USA. Also, coffee drinkers. Zia Guns USA also carries Black Rifle coffee. The whole line is available and waiting for you. Plus, they are your only authorized Dr. Squatch retailer in the region. Dr. Squatch soap accessories and supply. Matter of fact, Sean was telling me, he saw online yesterday, Dr. Squatch has got a Star Wars line of soaps, like a Yoda one. I don't know if it smells like Yoda. I don't know if you want that, but it's since that and it's Star Wars themed. But they carry the Dr. Squatch soap products there at Zia Guns USA. And so swing on by, shop your locally owned Zia Guns USA, 1907 North Main, right here in Roswell. The only gun store to be open on Sundays, but closed tomorrow on Saturdays because they spend Saturdays with family, and you should too. Swing on by, 1907 North Main, right Chia in Roswell. All right, quick commercial break, news, and we'll be right back. Don't go away.
Highly rated New Mexico food. Explore their amazing menu featuring huevos rancheros or asado with eggs or their green chili stew. And you can't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger, all made from scratch using their finest and freshest ingredients. Open for carryout with curbside delivery or limited dine-in. Just call ahead 624-2111. Martine's Capital Cafe, always pleasing the most refined palate. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th in Roswell.
This is John.
Hey, my name is John Jackson.
He's not some actor. He's a steward of the land with a John Deere 3 Series tractor. John runs with us. Nothing runs like a Deere. Get a 3 Series tractor with 0% APR for 72 months at your John Deere dealer today. For additional cost information, please call toll-free 855-633-2316.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia or Roswell, or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com.
It's an idea whose time has come. The MTA Mechanics and Tires Mobile Tire Shop. No longer will the drama of auto service ruin your entire day. Instead, MTA Mechanics and Tires will come to you. MTA will install new tires, fix your brakes, or just fix a flat while your vehicle is at work, home, or even the airport. So skip the drama. Call the Mobile Tire Shop at MTA Mechanics and Tires, covering Roswell, Carlsbad, and Artesia.
One of the most devastating effects of the 6-year-long World War II was the children who were orphaned. Thousands upon thousands of little children were left with no one to care for them. So many of them were left crying late into the night, calling out for mommy and daddy. One orphanage tried something new that would help the children sleep through the night. They sent them to bed with a loaf of bread. Guess what? It worked. The bread represented stability, or at least one more meal for the next day. While we're not left orphaned after World War II, we often lay down at night restless from an ever-changing world. Maybe we need to go to bed with some bread. Jesus told his followers, "I am the bread of life." For us, Jesus is our stability factor. He is the promise of a better tomorrow. The Bible tells us that if we give our anxieties and worries and requests to God, He will give us peace that is beyond understanding. So this week, give your unrest to God. He will give you peace.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Put a little cool into your back to school with the Back to School Blowout at Roswell Honda. Saturday, July 24th from 10 to 1, Roswell Honda is classing up your back to school season with free food and drinks, jolly jumps for the kids, and tons of giveaways, including a free 12-pack just for stopping by, free AirPods with a qualified test drive, a free Target gift card with purchase, and of course, the big backpack giveaway. Stop by now and get your kids signed up. The Back to School Blowout, Saturday the 24th at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. Eastern New Mexico University is announcing that Dr. Paul Weir has been appointed as the Director of Athletics. Weir, who most recently served as the head men's basketball coach at the University of New Mexico, will officially begin his duties on July 19th. With nearly 20 years of NCAA men's basketball coaching experience, Weir possesses the proven ability to lead through his success as the first head coach in history to coach at both New Mexico State University and UNM. In addition to his coaching background, Weir comes to ENMU with a substantial academic career as he holds a Ph.D. in Educational Leadership Administration and a Master's in Business Administration, both from NMSU, as well as master's degrees from Northwestern State University and the University of Iowa. He is currently an adjunct faculty member for UNM's Anderson School of Management. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We could get a few showers or thunderstorms over the next couple of days with some monsoon moist air coming in. Sunshine today, our afternoon high in the mid-90s, maybe an afternoon thunderstorm. For tonight, a shower or two in the evening and down to about 70. Mid-90s tomorrow with a slight chance of a late-day shower or thunderstorm, and we'll be in the mid-90s. Looks about the same for Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander. Screaming fans won't be the only thing missing from this year's Olympic Games in Tokyo. Behind the scenes, there won't be much schmoozing for the corporate sponsors like Coca-Cola and Procter & Gamble. The networking opportunity has been undermined because of the coronavirus. The number of Americans applying for unemployment benefits has reached its lowest level since the pandemic struck last year. Further evidence that the U.S. economy and the job market are quickly rebounding from the pandemic recession. Thursday's report from the Labor Department showed that jobless claims fell by 26,000 last week to 360,000. On Wall Street, the Dow gained 53 points to close at 34,987. The Nasdaq dropped 101 to 14,543, and the S&P 500 down 14 points to 4,360. With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The average person spends only 10 minutes a day speaking. Many wish Mike Winters was more like the average person. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:59. Big thank you to Congresswoman Yvette Harrell. I was just going to talk for 10 to 15, and then Bill Williams, county manager, is going to join in, but never saw Bill, so we just kept talking. So and her handlers didn't throw me off, so I've kept it going. So big thank you to the Congresswoman for that. Next hour, we're going to play our interview we had earlier in the week with Rick Kraft from Leadership Roswell. If you would like to be a part of the 2021 Leadership Roswell class, listen up. He's going to talk all about it. First, if you want to know what it is and don't know, we'll talk about that too. So that interview is coming up next hour. We'll be back on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters. We'll be back.
Your home for Sean Hannity in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Leading GOP senator says it's time to show the world the scourge of communism by highlighting the crackdown on protests in Cuba.
Senator Rick Scott of Florida says this is the time for the president to use his bully pulpit.
If Joe Biden would do his job right now, if he would start standing up and every day talk about this and get world leaders to talk about this.
Scott also says the U.S. media should do a better job of showing the brutality of the Castro regime.
Who's being kidnapped? Who's been beat up? All these things right now. Get it on television, get it in the papers, get it everywhere.
Senator Rick Scott of Florida was interviewed by the Salem Radio Network. Bob Agnew reporting.
Senator Josh Hawley has penned a letter to Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg, the Missouri Republican, concerned about what he says is evidence of collusion between social media platforms and the Biden administration that is suppressing free speech. And the administration set to warn American companies of the risks of doing business with Hong Kong.
President Biden is expressing concern about China's increasingly firm grip on Hong Kong's political and economic freedoms.
The situation in Hong Kong is deteriorating, and the Chinese government is not keeping its commitment.
Both the Trump and Biden administrations determined that since the passage of a new national security law last year, Hong Kong no longer enjoys the kind of autonomy that Beijing promised when it assumed control in 1997. Greg Clugston, Washington.
A surprisingly robust retail sales report for June lit a fire under Wall Street this morning, sending the key averages rocketing higher. For a time, the rally cut short after the University of Michigan reported that consumer sentiment took a hit earlier this month because of inflation fears. Right now, the key averages are in the red. The Dow is down 101 points, the Nasdaq off 19, and the S&P 8 points lower. More on these stories at townhall.com.
So when we brought him home, we didn't realize that Bear, the rescue dog, was actually sick. He had very flaky skin. He was dropping a lot of fur, and Levette wanted to do steroid injections, special dog food. Nothing seemed to work. So I was at a dead end. DINOVITE.com. I've been hearing Dinovite on the radio for years. It never actually crossed my mind to try it until it finally sunk in. Oh, you're talking about hair and skin. And, all right, I'll try it. Well, it took probably 6 weeks, but after we started using Dinovite, no more flaky skin. He doesn't scratch and itch, and he started to put weight on.
Dinovite is nutrition.
I wish that we would have started the Dinovite right away. It would have been so much easier.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
Every rescue dog in America deserves Dinovite for 90 days.
DINOVITE.com.
The death toll from floods across parts of western Germany and Belgium has risen to at least 100, and the search continues for hundreds more still missing.
Authorities in the German state of Rhineland-Palatinate say 50 people have died there
including at least 9 residents of an assisted living facility for people with disabilities, while in neighbouring North Rhine-Westphalia, the death toll stands at around 30. Some 1,300 people are still reportedly missing, though authorities say efforts to contact them could be hampered by disrupted roads and phone connections. The flash floods this week followed days of heavy rainfall, which turned streams and streets into raging torrents. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Authorities in Haiti forcefully pushing back against reports that current government officials were involved in the assassination of the Haitian president. They label the allegations a lie. News and analysis at townhall.com. Steps are being taken to ease some COVID-related international travel bans.
Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau told provincial leaders Thursday that fully vaccinated people from the United States could be allowed to visit Canada by the middle of next month. He adds fully vaccinated visitors from other countries could be allowed into Canada by early September. German Chancellor Angela Merkel, while meeting with President Biden at the White House Thursday, asked when the U.S. might be lifting COVID-19 travel restrictions on most of Europe. Biden said he should know in the next several days.
I'm waiting to hear from our folks in our COVID team as to when that should be done.
There are 26 European countries included in that U.S. travel ban. Tim McGuire, Washington.
One person who vanished from a Colorado River rafting trip in the Grand Canyon has been found dead. The region recently pounded with heavy rains that have resulted in flash floods. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The tabloid said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tres inviernos.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Friday, everybody.
Yeah.
Welcome to your Friday. Hope all of you are having a delightful day so far.
Mm-hmm.
Our Fridays are always awesome thanks to the fine folks at McDonald's.
We are loving it.
Every time they do not disappoint. Even if I'm coming in, I'm like, it's a funky Friday. Feeling kind of funky.
Am I hot?
Yeah.
I feel like I am, yeah.
You're a little hot.
Thank you.
Actually, I turned the headphones up.
That might be what it is, too.
I was talking with the congresswoman on the phone last hour, and sometimes you got to crank it up so I can hear a little bit. So
I was feeling the bass in my voice there.
Yeah, I think I turned the headphones up a little bit. Is that a little better?
Yeah.
A little bit more. Stop. All right. Nobody else but us are hearing
No,
this.
but it's like that weird thing where you get water in your ear. You know? It's like just shake a little bit and maybe you'll get the one side back.
Got to clean the pot there.
Dipping out.
Yeah. So, but anyway, big thank you to McDonald's.
Absolutely.
They, why is it doing that? Stop.
Better.
That's annoying.
That's better.
All right. There we go. It was going in and out of one ear there. It was driving me nuts.
Sorry, everybody.
Sorry. It's cool.
Hashtag DJ problems.
Yeah. It's kind of like if someone, like if you're trying to have a conversation with someone and someone just going up to you while you're talking and popping your ears in and out, cupping them and going, boop, 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 and you're trying to talk. It's a little bit of
You know what? There's a term that I just recently learned called buffeting.
Okay. Jimmy buffeting?
Jimmy buffeting, yes, which is when you step on a pop top and blow out a flip flop. No, actually, it's when you're in the car and like a back window opens and have you ever gotten that
Oh yeah, the pressure. Yeah.
That's called buffeting.
Oh,
and it happens in most like sedans. I guess it's like the way they're shaped when when only one window is open.
Ah, okay.
Usually the back window. It causes like an air bounce effect. I get it bad in my car.
Huh. So sedans.
Yes. Buffeting.
Getting the buffeting model.
It might be buffeting, but I just assumed that that just sounds like a fun weekend activity.
Phoebe buffeting.
Honey, get your purse. We're going buffeting. I'm buffeting.
Yeah, buffeting. I sense a buffeting in the vehicle. Can we please cease the buffeting?
Yeah,
but
look into it. But yes.
Speaking of food, McDonald's once again. Big thank you to them. Of course, swing by any of your 2 McDonald's at the moment, and they've got you covered. If you are looking for a career, McDonald's is hiring. They the South Main and rebuild. I say remodel. It's a rebuild. Will be done soon. They're now hiring for all 3 locations, for the South Main, for UFO, and for North Main. Apply online. You can go to www.mchire.com. That's an MC. Hire.com and go there and apply today. And don't go to the South Main and apply.
Right.
That might be a little tricky. The construction worker's like, I can't hire you, buddy.
You can't. Just wait around a little while.
Yeah.
It's going to be a while.
Of course, you might get hired on in the construction crew.
You know what? There you go.
But
either way, you're an opportunist, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, but go to the website, mchire.com. Big thank you to McDonald's. I've only had tea and hash browns this morning. I need to go dive into the sandwiches.
The Mike Winter story, tea and hash browns.
Tea and hash browns.
I got to tell you, though, dude, one of the coolest experiences working as an employee for McDonald's is getting to work on brand new equipment. I was one of the people who worked at the Walmart McDonald's before the Walmart actually had even opened. Or the McDonald's had even opened.
Oh, okay.
Or actually, they were in the process of like building everything.
Sure.
They moved us in to like feed the employees during like lunch breaks and stuff.
Which was probably part of your training.
Yeah, as we were kind of getting to know the new equipment and stuff. So yeah, we got to work on the brand newest of equipment. And that's just kind of a cool feeling to never before touched fryolators and grill tops.
Broke the seal.
Right.
Yeah. But you could do that for the South Main one. But again, apply today, mchire.com. And if you're hungry or hangry, maybe it's 9:10, you ain't eat yet, you get a little hangry, swing on by McDonald's. They go order through the app. You can get exclusive deals to the app. Like if you want to feel like you're in a club and you get like prices of things cheaper than what other people are paying for them, download the app and use those deals. You can use that. You can order and do all that through the app. Sean's also proven that if you just want to pay cash and just go through the drive-through, they'll scan your little app code.
They'll even ask you now. That's their new thing. And it helped because it reminded me. They're like, welcome back to McDonald's. Will you be using your mobile app today? I'm like, oh yeah, I can do that. And I pulled it out. And I used it. So that's handy vocabulary.
It is. It's great. And they really make it easy to get your food to you fast and hot and fresh. So swing by any of your McDonald's. They got you covered. Big thank you to them. They've been supporting us every Friday for years.
Yes.
And by the way, when it comes to supporting the community, our local McDonald's, they do great jobs. Nick and his team are always involved with stuff for schools, stuff for the community all the time. So be a part of the community. Come and have a burger. Go work for a great team today.
Right.
All right, it is 9/11. You know what? I got to ask something because this we don't have a lot of time, and it's not that important. But I just thought I was. Did you ever watch the old Wonder Woman Linda Carter TV show, or was that before your time?
It's before my time. I've seen it. I never sat down and actually watched it.
So you're vaguely familiar with it.
Yeah.
Well, Linda Carter, who, by the way, in her, I don't know if she's in the 70s.
Still looking pretty good.
She's still a Wonder Woman, man. But anyway, when she, the whole premise, she was in the military. She did a lot, when she was her incognito. But when she turned to Wonder Woman, she always did a twirl, like a Wonder Woman twirl. And she did
Wonder Woman!
Yeah, and she'd spin around in circles and then turn into Wonder Woman, which I'm fine with that. But here's the problem I have with it. And I got reminded because I saw like a 30,000 twirls of Wonder Woman in a meme on Facebook. That's what sparked this.
Sure.
Why was it that Wonder Woman, when she spun around, she has a uniform on or everything, right? She has the whole deal. But anytime she was wearing a hat or glasses, she had to take them off before she spun around. Like if she just had a dress on or a suit without the glasses, she spun around and was Wonder Woman. But she had a hat and glasses, she'd take the glasses off, take the hat off, and then spin around and turn
Wonder Woman. With them in her
hand, though? With her in her hand. and then spin around and then be Wonder Woman. I'm like, why did you always have to take the hat and glasses off? But if you did, I mean, would you not turn into Wonder Woman if you left the hat and glasses on?
I have a theory. I don't know what the theory, if the theory stands up or holds water, if you will. I know it doesn't involve pause attraction. My theory is because of early, like the way they had to do special effects work.
Yeah.
I'm guessing they only had like 4 or 5 of these shots.
Maybe.
And so they always had to like make sure that she was set up the same way.
Could be.
Before she did the twirl.
Spill, maybe.
That's just my theory.
Yeah. I just never understood that. I'm like, why? Because I remember that in the show back in the day and thought that, and then I saw it today and got re-reminded of it. And I'm like, why do you always got to take your glasses and hat off?
The way it's done, she'll be in like a pantsuit or whatever, and she'll do the twirl, and the suit will fade away. Whatever she's wearing will fade away, and she'll have the Wonder Woman outfit on. Right? Am I right?
Yeah, exactly.
I remembered seeing that.
Yeah.
So my guess is that they had to do that through a series of shots, like a series of stills, is my assumption.
Yeah.
So it was, and Tanner could probably actually like lean in on this because he's done, film editing and stuff. He knows.
Yeah, great. This was like early 80s when this was on.
No, it was like 70s. Is what I'm assuming.
Late 70s, early 80s, yeah.
So I'm assuming it would be arms up, shot, like individual photos that they would then crop together as she was making the transition.
I guess.
I think he'd be right.
Sounds legit.
The glasses wouldn't fade well, but I don't think people would care.
I know.
I was going to say, do your glasses fit on your head well, both of y'all?
No. Matter of fact,
I was going to say, if you're just going to spin really quickly, I think the glasses would fly off.
Here's the thing. Before I go
we
down,
can try. Hold on.
Oh, no.
Easy. These are new. Careful.
There we go. Well, is that how fast she went?
No, she was flying, though. There you go. Okay. Fair enough.
God.
Wow.
Hold on.
Hold on. Hold on. I was going to say bravo on your calisthenics. That was props. You didn't even get super winded.
My legs are not only sexy, they're functional.
Although I noticed
they're wondrous.
You didn't breathe that whole time either, so that's.
Oh, I probably didn't.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so there goes that theory.
But,
yeah.
Well, I just know that before I go down water slides, I take my glasses off because I've had it happen where they just.
Doesn't that also just symbolize transformation? I mean, Superman takes his glasses off too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm going to suspend the disbelief that like no one recognizes Superman or Wonder Woman until she takes the glasses off.
Correct.
I'm
it's kind of weird. But
I'll suspend that disbelief, but I can't buy the hat and.
Wait, take your glasses off real quick. Hold on, Mike Winters.
Where'd he go?
Mike Winters.
No.
Guy,
who are
fantastic.
You? Now I'm the Morning Flash. It's also what I call my bathroom schedule. Just kidding.
Fire sale.
Oh, we'll be next week. More to come on that.
Stay tuned.
We probably should shut up so I can get time for my interview in. But that's a perplexing thing in my head. Now, you wonder what's wrong with me? It's things like that go through my head all day.
I've wondered the same thing about how come everything else on the Hulk rips off when he transforms, but his pants stay intact.
That's been a long time.
Mm-hmm. Or most of his pants. The bottom parts rip, but most of his pants
So his waist doesn't grow?
Yeah, it's like, why is this part...
Yeah.
But they do, because you look at them thighs.
Yeah. Well, I guess he's got a stretchy belt.
Stretchy pants. That's why he wears the stretchy pants.
I like the stretchy pants.
They probably addressed that in the Marvel Universe at some point.
They do, I think, in like the Ed Norton Hulk. They address that stuff, not...
I'm guessing that's what the phone call is right there.
No, that's a spam risk.
Oh. I was like, here, let me... Well, ask them. Maybe they'll
The
know.
big call center in Red River, New Mexico wants to get a hold of me there, so I don't think I'm going to take that call. All right, it is 9:16. Here's the weather. Enjoy.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We could get a few showers or thunderstorms over the next couple of days with some monsoon moist air coming in. Sunshine today, our afternoon high in the mid-90s, maybe an afternoon thunderstorm. For tonight, a shower or two in the evening and down to about 70. Mid-90s tomorrow with a slight chance of a late day shower or thunderstorm, and we'll be in the mid-90s. Looks about the same for Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 77 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 64%. Winds currently out of the north at 7 miles per hour. 20% chance. That's what we're looking at for the next several days. 20% chance of rain this afternoon. Otherwise, mostly sunny. Highs near 95 today with northeast winds at around 5 to 10. Tonight, 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Some of those storms could produce some heavy rainfall. Mostly cloudy, gradually clearing after midnight there with an overnight low of 71. West winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday, a 20% chance of rain. Otherwise, we're looking at mostly sunny skies, highs around 95, south winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday night, partly cloudy, overnight low of 71. Sunday, we're looking at a 20% chance of showers. Again, they throw in that some storms could produce heavy rain, mostly sunny. High of 92. Sunday night, 20% chance of rain as well. Once again, some storms could produce heavy rain, mostly cloudy, overnight low of 71. And then Monday and through Thursday, like a 20 to 30% chance of rain each day there. Highs lower 90s to upper 80s for next week. All right, 9:18, quick commercial break, and then our interview with Rick Kraft talking leadership Roswell on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
We teach our kids to say please and thank you to total strangers. But we get so familiar in our marriages and families, we stop being polite to each other. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and my wife, Miss Julie Smotherman, for the Joy of Marriage.
In the love chapter of 1 Corinthians 13, it says that love is patient and kind. Love is not jealous or boastful or proud or rude. We emphasize being polite to each other in our family, which promotes an attitude of respect and brings peace in our home. Remember your manners with the person you love the most. Appreciate the things they do for you and let them know.
Being polite to each other can help you avoid conflict. Let's be polite to strangers, but let's not give our best to the people we don't live with. Let's give our best to each other.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
It's an old story. You go on vacation, you relax, you have a good time, and then you come home to a world of disarray. Your mail is backed up. You have 100 messages on your voicemail. Your lawn is 3 feet tall, and your pool has developed a nasty algae problem. Well, the good people at BioGuard can't solve all your problems, but they can help you with your pool. So before you go on vacation, stop at Mays Lumber at 115 South Virginia in Roswell and ask about their special vacation plan. BioGuard has a wide variety of products that will find algae and take care of your pool. So when you come home from your vacation, you can depend on your pool to relieve your stress and not add to it. Because BioGuard guards more than your pool. They guard your time, your vacation, and your peace of mind. BioGuard at Mays Lumber, 115 South Virginia in Roswell.
We cut to order, special order, products sold and new. You can count on Mays Lumber Company.
Put a little cool into your back to school with the Back to School Blowout at Roswell Honda. Saturday, July 24th from 10 to 1, Roswell Honda is classing up your back to school season with free food and drinks, jolly jumps for the kids, and tons of giveaways, including a free 12-pack just for stopping by, free AirPods with a qualified test drive, a free Target gift card with purchase, and of course, the big backpack giveaway. Stop by now and get your kids signed up. The Back to School Blowout, Saturday the 24th at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
You've slouched on it. You've slept on it. You've sheltered in place on it until it's worn out. Now it's time for new furniture from Glenn's. Like a breath of fresh air, Glenn's will brighten your home with beautiful new furniture you'll be proud of for years to come. And at Glenn's, everything is ready for immediate delivery. So reopen your life and refresh your home with a trip to Glenn's Furniture at the corner of Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
Attention, southeastern New Mexico! Tate Branch of Carlsbad is overstocked on premium quality pre-owned vehicles. During this pre-owned inventory elimination event, you'll save more than ever before. Bring your vehicle in for on-site appraisals. Bad credit, no problem. Your job is your credit at Tate Branch. They've got what you're looking for at Tate Branch, and if not, they can get it. Shop local. Shop Tate Branch of Carlsbad, 1044 North Canal. Home of the lifetime powertrain warranty on all new vehicles and a proud sponsor of the Eddy County Fair.
Chimera has been providing Southeast New Mexico state-of-the-art medical care for over 22 years. Chimera specializes in providing top-quality care for cancer patients, diabetes, thyroid conditions, heart disease, and rheumatoid conditions. Chimera would like to welcome Chris McGoldrick to the team. He brings a wealth of knowledge and compassion to Chimera. Chris specializes in rheumatoid conditions and is ready to help you. Call Chimera 627-9500. Chimera Independent Physicians, here for you.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Astronauts are not allowed to eat beans before they go into space because passing wind in a spacesuit damages them. The suits or the astronauts? Here's Mike Winters.
Joining us in the studio this morning, I'm aware of many hats, but wearing his Leadership Roswell hat today. Rick Kraft with us this morning. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mike. I'm used to listening to this on the other side of
Catching
the microphone.
The other end of
it.
Yeah, so when you hear a dead spot, that's your turn to talk.
That's my turn, okay.
You're not listening.
Well, I'll sit here and you can gesture when you want me to speak.
Got it.
I'm okay listening and learning today.
Well, you're going to be teaching, too, a little bit, I hope,
okay.
here. But for folks that aren't familiar, and we're going to talk all about it here, Rick is telling us about a program. It's called Leadership Roswell. And we've talked. Anybody that's listened to this show at any regular stretch, or even more than once, will probably be aware that or at least of Leadership Roswell. But it really is a great program that I don't know. To me, it serves multiple folds. It's a great I don't know, just vessel to learn about your community. I would say that's one thing, but I mean, obviously the big part, which is the part in the title of the program, being leadership, you learn skills and things that help you regardless of your career, well, really what you're doing. If you're living on Earth, these leadership skills will help you in whatever pursuit you do, and it's really just a great program that if you've been kind of in the community for a while or new to the community, it's something you're going to gain, I think, a lot of great insight out of. So is that pretty close?
No, it's a good overview. I guess I'd ask the rhetorical question, maybe make it not rhetorical and say, who out there would like to be better equipped to make a difference
Sure.
a year from now than they are today?
Absolutely. And that's what Leadership Roswell helps you do.
Yeah.
Because it covers all gamuts. You're going to get an opportunity to see parts of our community that you may not normally see. You get to learn how the sausage is made in some aspects, as far as like government and well, in some cases, literally sausage. But
Well, I break it into three boxes.
Sure.
We can make 10, but one of them is, as you said, the title, which is leadership.
Mm-hmm.
Equipping people to better be able to lead in their day-to-day lives, to influence others, to make a positive impact. A second is a networking.
Mm-hmm.
When we take a class size of 30, by the time you graduate, you've got you may know some of the students ahead of time, but by the time you're through, you've got 29 others.
Sure.
That you can
30
impact.
people you could probably call friends at the end of the year. There,
yeah, and relationships are everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third is education, which is kind of what you touched on earlier. Also,
Sure.
is learning what's going on in our community, what's going on in our county or state.
Absolutely, and I guarantee, no matter how well versed you are, there's going to be facets you're like, oh, I didn't know that. I point to me as an example. I went in as a radio guy. By the way, I graduated from the program several years ago, but
magna cum laude.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Back when the Pilgrim. No, I'm just kidding. But and I kind of like, well, I'm a radio guy. I kind of have, by design, I kind of have my finger on the pulse of what's going on. But yeah, there's many facets of things I didn't get to experience before, or things I knew of but never got to see behind the scenes about, or that to me was a very valuable tool, and obviously making the connections and things like you said. I mean, it's and the program at times will force you out of your comfort zone by design. I'm not now. That being said, it's not going to be like, all right, we're not going to put you in an escape room and leave you there, or nothing like that. But there's going to be things that push your, like for me personally, the push envelope stuff was when we got a chance to do some ropes course type things.
Mm-hmm.
And the Assurance Home hosted us as they do most years. Very, very great organization. But they have stuff that they do with their teenagers and things that they put us through. And I was born without wings, man. I'm not supposed to be up in the air. I don't care if it's 12 feet or 10,000 feet. It's not how I roll, And so that was an overcome for me to go up the tower and climb as high as I could and do things that I'm like, no. This is not part of what I do. But and so yeah, but for you it might be different. It might be something else like, I had to give a presentation in front of the group, and you're like, oh man, I didn't want to stand in front of those people, but everyone has their different fears. I don't have that one so much, but but I think that's also part of the program, is to to broaden your horizons and push you out of your comfort zone and expand your boundaries a little bit.
Yeah, it's all about growth.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you're talking about whether you're new to the community or been a member a long time. I've been through the program 30 times, and I learn something every year.
That's right. You've probably been to the program the most of everybody.
Yeah, I've got growth ahead, and I don't know what I don't know till I go through the program again. And we've had people who grew up in Roswell, lived here their whole lives, and they think, what is there to learn? But between the speakers and the tours, and the discussions, I mean, there's just so many things that people don't realize they don't know until they come through the program.
Absolutely. And here's another aspect I think some can appreciate is one of the parts of the year-long program. It's a year-long. You have basically a class a month on average. Usually it's around the part of the first Friday of the month on average. It does float around depending on the class schedule and who's going to be sponsoring and what business. If you're touring businesses and things, Fridays don't always work in their game plan, so that kind of stuff happens. But for the most part, it's on Fridays. But the part that I think you'll get to love about this is part of this facet is the legislative side too, and there's a planned trip during the legislative session to go to Santa Fe and meet legislators, meet judges, meet some of the governor, hopefully, depending on schedules and everything. And I think that's a great side of it because y'all may watch the news during the legislative session and see kind of what was passed or what committees were talking about what this particular day. But there you're talking to the people making those decisions. You're talking to the people that help the people make those decisions. And so you kind of get a better picture of, how a law happens here in the state and things. Because sometimes you think, well, that's going to be common sense that you fly through committees and you're like, but here's why, and this is, and so you kind of get a better insight on how state government is run too. And I think that's, I'm not saying you're not still going to complain about things afterwards because you might or not, but at least you'll understand why things go the way they go sometimes.
Yeah, that's the Santa Fe trip, which is typically last weekend or last Monday, Tuesday in January. And as you said, we focus on all three of the branches from the judiciary. Usually we meet with the Supreme Court Justice and get a tour of the Supreme Court building, which I doubt very many listeners have had a chance to do that, even the back room where they take their robes off.
Sure. Yeah. Ooh, even that one. This is where all the action happens.
And then
is it like a robe, like a sports locker room with just robes?
Yeah, they literally have lockers back there, and they say they get to ask the question, "What do you wear under the robe?" Sometimes they answer that, sometimes they don't. But
and then table with Gatorade.
And then the legislative side, we invite all our local legislators and get a chance to visit with them, and then we get to see how they sit and such when we walk into the both the House and the Senate chambers, and then the executive. Usually we get to meet with the governor, and we've also gone to we sit in her room. I don't know if they call it the cabinet room, but with a huge table. It's very, very interesting and intimidating, but we get a chance to dialogue, and then we go to the governor's mansion typically afterwards, and we talk about, with lobbyists, and we go to a reception up there, just a lot of other activities all put together. But by the time you come back, you see Santa Fe different.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's now, I'm not saying you're going to agree or disagree with politics and things. That's for your own decision making, but you'll at least have an understanding on how the cogs in the wheel turn and everything else there, and that's important. I think it just to understanding. We see the world we live in today, and people loving to share their thoughts and opinions on Facebook, and as you read them, you're kind of like, well, I don't think they're coming from a place of knowing what's going on, and you can understand that much better, and it's a valuable insight, I think, and that will help you. Just even if you're a small business owner, if you have that insight, if you know how the system works, then that gives you leverage on how to manipulate and work through the system to your advantage. So,
the other thing the program does, and a couple of years ago for the yearbook, which the committee puts together, they listed all the presenters that addressed during the year. I'd never counted them, but it was like 104.
Wow.
And so, when you have that much interaction, whether it's a legislator up in Santa Fe or whether it's somebody in government down here or in business, even if you just hear them for 15 minutes or 20 minutes do a presentation, you can connect with them and say, hey, I heard you speak on this. I got questions on that, or how can I help you? So just who you're exposed to is amazing. And it really works because of the community.
Absolutely.
We'd have no program without the community stepping up.
Absolutely. And this part, too, Rick won't admit this part, but Rick's kind of the glue that holds this together. What he plans, he's Margaret, he's got some folks that really help him out here. But Rick's dedication to this program and Rick's just time and energy spent into this is what's made it arguably the best program of this kind in the state. Just so folks know, there's leadership programs in other parts of the state. They tend to come to the Roswell one to use it as a template for their own programs and things like that. So, and it's
39 years.
9 years now we're up to. So Rick's gotten pretty good over the time here, over the years of getting this done. But 39 years this program's been going. And it's just been getting better and better each year. Even last year when COVID tried to put a bunch of wrinkles in it, that class didn't get to do everything that the normal class, the normal conditions the classes would get to do. But they also got to do things that the other classes didn't get to do either. I mean, they basically got to hang out with the governor, former governor, Susana Martinez, like just hanging out, chewing the bull and hearing her story and things like that. And not many people get a one-on-one in a formal but informal setting like that and get to talk with and kind of learn the human side. And I think a lot of people would love to been a fly on the wall in that room and things like that. But that's kind of part of the experiences that with Leadership Roswell in itself. Yeah, there's things, but then there's also special opportunities, things that pop up that, it's unique to your class too. It's like, well, we have a lucky opportunity this time to meet so-and-so or dude. It's just, that's what the class is. And the reason Rick's able to get things like that happening because others see the value in this program outside of Roswell too. I think that's when we talk about the success of it. But when you get the governor to agree to hang out and just talk, about her personal life for hours with 30 strangers, let's face it, that speaks volumes to what they understand the importance of this program is too. So.
Well, if you ask the question, what makes a good manager, it's a good team.
Yeah.
And so I'm honored to have served coming up on 3 decades now, and it's a passion I have. But it works because of a team, and whether it's Margaret, Matthew Chappell, got elected president last year, worked with us this year. Amber Dollar served a year ago, but it's a great team. This will be our 39th year. It's the longest continuous program of its kind in the state of New Mexico. We have 977 graduates. And so
wow,
we're excited about that. Yeah, so
is that 30 times 39 roughly? Or
well, some years, I've been involved 30 years, but some years we didn't have a full 30 students before me, so I had to go back and figure it out. But
so it required some more complex ciphering.
Yeah, but back in 1983, 83, the Roswell Chamber of Commerce, which is we're a program.
The Roswell Chamber is the host of it houses the program here.
Right, and as a program of the chamber, which we're honored to be also, a forward-looking board sat down and said, let's do some leadership training for our community, and they're the ones that breathe life into it.
Gotcha.
And so that's exciting to think that a group of local leadership here started this before the rest of the state caught on, and it is a model program both statewide and nationally.
Absolutely. Well, I think one of the smart things they did, too, was ask you to get involved with the program.
The timing was right.
It very much plays a part in that. Now, the class is limited in size because they've worked out the sweet spot. If it's too big, it's really hard to do some of the others. Too little, sometimes it doesn't is not as effective in some of the group teachings and things like that. So 30 is the sweet spot here. The good news is any of you can apply. If I don't care if you've been in Roswell 2 minutes or 20 years or somewhere in between, if you have a desire to be a part of this community and do things to want to better it, whether it's through business, through nonprofit, through whatever, then you're in it for the right reasons, and that's what we would like to see applied. Now, here's the catch. It is limited to 30. more than 30 generally apply for this program. So not everyone is going to get in. We want to make it tough for the committee to select. So we want to see as many as possible, and we want to see as many quality candidates as possible. So what you guys need to do, if you're interested, you can go to the Chamber of Commerce and go pick up the application. It's not very complex. It's a couple pages. However, it's not a and B, fill in your name, address, and roll with it. This is a thought-provoking questionnaire. We want to kind of see what your thoughts are in the community. So it's going to be questions like, what do you love about the community? What do you see as problems in the community? What are your reasons for being a part of this program? And we want to hear more than just crime sucks. or I like the zoo.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Why? What's your, okay, crime stinks. Why do you think that is? And what do you think we need to do to start curtailing that, And so the committee's going to read those answers and pick their best 30 candidates out of it. Now, if you've applied in years past, you do get a little bump in your, like a few extra points, a bump up in your selection. So if you tried last year or the year before or year before that, apply again. You will you'll get a little more weight carried on your applications because we see you're committed and wanting to do this. So we're going to take that into consideration. But if you do not get in, don't take heart. Keep trying again. Rick will personally call you and tell you exactly where you're at and So sometimes it's just not a matter of you're more than qualified. We just have 35 people that are equally qualified, and so somebody has to be the short straw here. And unfortunately, it'll be you this time. But please apply next year. And so
and as you made the point, Mike, it's since it's a paper application, it's so important to make sure that you don't rush it.
Yeah.
Take your time and fill it out because you might have the 10 out of 10 personality skills. But, the committee that scores it is going off paper.
Absolutely.
So, what you've been involved in, what you're going to be involved with, all that's important. But, you can't speak and look into the eyes of the people who are reviewing it.
Everything that they're learning about you is on that piece of paper. Right. So you have to think about it in those terms. It's like, all right, what information I want to put on there that I want them to get the best understanding who I am. And that's if you look at that from that angle when you answer the questions and things, I think it'll help you, guide you with those answers. Because I know you're going to be thinking, well, what answer do they want from me? Cry. No. We want to hear from you and hear what your thought is. As you learned in the Leadership Roswell class, it's ideas come from all kinds of places and things. Who knows? You may say something there and it's like, you know what? That's really a problem that we never thought about. Maybe we should devote a class or devote something. I'm saying this is the answers you give aren't wrong or right answers. They're what your thoughts are on it, and we just want to see how you think and and how you have your vested interest in the community. And there's two ways to get the application. Yes.
One is at the Roswell Chamber. You can pick up a printed copy. That's 121 West 2nd Street, and then the other is online. We have about half and half. About half the people apply online at the Roswell website, Roswell Chamber website, roswellnm.org. And there's links to click to get to the programs and stuff. But they've got to get it done. We're like 2 weeks from Friday.
The 30th.
Deadline. Yeah,
the deadline is the end of the July, by end of business, the July 30th, right?
Yeah, 5 o'clock on the 30th.
Is the 31st a Saturday this year?
It is, yeah.
Okay. So it's July 30th this year, 5 p.m. Get it into the chamber. And then, now if you're asking, should it be handwritten, typed? I've seen both. Do what you think's best for you, and I would ask legible.
Yeah,
that would be a good one.
But the old days, before we had the link for the online applications, everything was written, so you kind of learned about the person some also by the way they wrote.
Yeah, there is something there too.
Some look like they could do calligraphy professionally. Others you think, and who taught them how to write?
I'm sure psychiatrists could spend hours doing that kind of, if it's very meticulous and things. That I'm sure that tells them a lot about a person versus what we call the doctor's signature spiel. It probably also tells something a lot about us too. So.
Yeah. But we close the applications the 30th of July. We'll know who the class is within a couple weeks, and then the program will start in September.
Yes.
right out of the blocks there?
The commitment, there is some financial commitments. There are scholarship opportunities if finances are a problem. There's check boxes on the application to indicate that. Those can be worked out, so please don't let that be the hurdle for not applying. We can figure the money part out, but sometimes businesses pay for it. If you're going represent your company, they generally will pay for it sometimes. Like I said, if you need scholarship and you have no fund, we'll figure that out. Don't worry about that part.
And the tuition is $650.
Okay.
And so, but as you said, Mike, it's very important. I don't want a single student not to apply for financial reasons. Mm-hmm. If you apply and make it, then we address those issues, and whether we take some payments or we can do scholarships up to half scholarship, depending on how many scholarships and how many people have need. In most cases, employers do pay for it. Sometimes they don't. Mm-hmm. But again, if someone's interested in the program, I don't want to make finances be a reason not to apply, or once they make it, not to.
You make it, and we'll figure the money part out. That we'll put our heads together and come up with.
And included in that, I mean, I think that for 9 classes, call it 10 with the Santa Fe trip. It's a not-for-profit. I mean, this isn't something that's trying to make money for the Roswell Chamber.
Yeah, this actually goes back into the program. It's paying for your rooms in Santa Fe. It's paying for the
bus trip and
bus trips, transportation.
We've got meals, we got notebooks, we got.
It kind of covers the cost of 1 year of classes, basically. And
the goal is to break even, and so it's not the return for the investment is very high.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
and you're going to learn as you're in the class, because you'll be on committees and things. You're going to be assigned projects, and maybe you're on the graduation committee or the bus trip to Santa Fe committee, and you're going to have to do some planning and soliciting and things during that part too. So it all incorporates into that too, and so it all fits. Just.
Yeah, the Leadership New Mexico program I have not seen recently, but last I knew their tuition was just under $3,000.
Oof!
And they don't have as much programming as we do. So
we do have a better bang for your buck for what's it like 1, 2, 3, like 400% more?
Yeah,
something like that.
Well,
I don't do math very well, but it's crazy. Yeah,
it's successful because of volunteers. I mean, those
we have dedicated. Yeah, they're donating time. They're donating resources. I mean. A lot of times, like our class leaders and things, they'll go out and for lunches and things. A lot of time, businesses like, hey, I'll donate you 10 pizzas or
a lot of sponsorships and
$30 people's worth of sandwiches and things. Yeah.
And we appreciate that a lot. But other than the chamber, the full time staff that helps us greatly. Other than that, everyone else that does the program is all volunteers.
Yeah, it's all side. When they've got their 10 other things they're busy in their life with, day jobs, family, etc., and they also spend time volunteering to help this.
It's not about those that run the program; it's about those in the program.
Well, but I think those that have run the program is a testament to the program, because these being all volunteers, folks that have been involved with it. Let's face it, the ones that have been kind of the nucleus, have been there for quite a few years now, and. I think that's a testament into the program in and of itself. People wouldn't dedicate their time, give away of themselves for free if they didn't believe in the product. And so I think that it speaks volumes for the product as well, that we have that many people that dedicated for free doing what they do.
Well, the goal is to improve the program every year. Mm-hmm. Every class we take evaluations, and at the end of the year we take an evaluation for the whole year. And Matthew Chappell, who will be run the program with Margaret and I this year, when we sat down to meet with him the first time, he says, I want the class of 2022, which is the one we're recruiting for. He says, I want it to be the best program ever.
All right.
And we thought, well, that's what we do. Every year we like to move it up a rung if we can. And,
absolutely.
We've just been blessed because every year with input from those who go through the program and those that help us run the program, we feel like we make it better each year.
Absolutely.
And after 30 trips around the sun for myself, and Margaret's about trip 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And then the new ideas of the last class president.
Absolutely. And trust me, if you've been on the fence about signing up and applying for the Leadership Roswell program, do it. Get your applications in. I'm like I said, I'm a DJ and I get to see a lot of things, but I got to experience things I never would have got to do. The trips out to FLETC I thought were very fun, but very enlightening and entertaining, and educational as well too. Yeah, we got to shoot guns and all that cool stuff, but you really get an insight on, protecting our borders and what some of the stuff that they do and train for, and things that sometimes we don't even think about as people that don't, we think of drug run and this, but those guys got that times 10 other things too. We don't think about that kind of stuff.
Well, I enjoy listening to you on the radio, Mike, and since you went through the program, I hear you oftentimes say, well, I went down there and did this, or I went and did that.
I incorporated a story, yeah. A lot of times my story's on the air, I'm like, oh yeah, when I was in Leadership Roswell, I got to do this, so I kind of, it does give me a story or two for the radio.
But I made a list. This isn't every year, but a typical year, these are places that we tour, the Institute, Supreme Court Building, Santa Fe, a dairy, FAA Tower, the University, the county offices, the Roundhouse in Santa Fe, Baldwin Paint, Leprino, the police department, Christmas by Krebs, Roswell Livestock Auction, the Governor's Mansion, Pecos Valley Production, Historical Society, Graves Farm. That's just plus you said the FLETC, which is a great trip.
Yeah.
There's just the locations that you get into, and it depends on the year, but it's totally awesome.
Absolutely, yeah. You get unique experience. Like one year, the year I went, we also got to go to. They just got bought out and changed to a new company. Mystic, but Mystic it was and that I knew of Mystic. I had no idea what was going on out there until I went out, and that's the kind of stuff that I appreciated from Leadership Roswell. I got to tour the jail and see the jail, and that was pretty neat too. And I make the joke every time. It's like, I've never been there. Despite what you think, I've never been to the jail. But that gave me a lot of insight. It's pretty big in there since they've done the updates and the remodels and stuff. And I'd like to think of all facilities like that, they probably had a pretty easy time during COVID and things. Not I say easy, but you know what I mean. That because of the resources available there, they were able to mitigate through COVID probably better than some other facilities like that, like detention centers and such. So it's a pretty neat place if you're not a resident.
we only lose one student a year when we go through that tour. But it's all about the individuals and equipping them. We put tools in front of them and ask them to pick them up and use them. And as important, it's about our community.
Absolutely.
And so we want people equipped to make an impact on our community positively.
And I would say even if you're someone that's been doing leadership roles, serving in leadership roles for many years now. Your inputs, because the class teaches the class in and of itself. You work together in groups and things, and we learn from each other. But I would also say, you hear the saying, you can't teach old dog new tricks. No, but you can show them one or two, and they can decide to use them or not. And I think there's even folks have been kind of doing leadership, whether it's business or whatever it is, for a long time. I still think you're going to find things that and take things out of this class that you would have never realized. Things like time management, things that you think you're juggling now, but then realize, well, maybe I'm not juggling so well. And I think the class also does a great job of bringing that side out too. And just even so, regardless, if you've been, I've been in the community pillar for 47 years, or I'm new to Roswell, what's this place like? Anywhere between, I think you're going to gain something out of this class.
And it's as you said, Mike. It's one day a month. It's a full day. We go from 8 to 5. Each day has a theme. We have City Day, County Day, Law Enforcement. We have a youth panel discussion, education, Health and Human Services, agribusiness, manufacturing, FLETC. So we have a theme coupled with the leadership training.
Yeah.
So
you'll kind of get like County Day, you're going to go and see the county buildings and some of the things like that, and but trust me, I think. Please get your applications. Go swing by the chamber, pick up an application, get it turned in. Don't wait till July 28th, 29th, 30th. Pick it up this week. Give you time to mull and kind of contemplate your answers and things. Again, there's not wrong or right answers, but we want to learn about you. And basically, the committee of people that are going to select the class of 2022. The only thing they've got to go on is what you put in that application. So sell yourself, man. Make yourself look great. I know even if you kind of sound like, oh, this sounds like I'm a little conceited. Okay, be a little conceited. That's all right. We want to know, where you're at, what you're doing, what you want to do, and we want to, so we can kind of understand if this is the, if we are on the same page you are, and if you are, then we're going to get you in the class.
Yeah, some of the leadership training we do is we talk about goal setting, attitude, communication. You'd mentioned organization, creating margin in your life. We have class discussions on difficult topics, and the list goes on and on from there. But there's overcoming failure. There's dealing with stress. There's a lot of things that we get into. So
absolutely,
the idea is to focus on things. I mean, most of the world on a typical Friday, there's just another Friday.
Yeah,
they're just going through their daily routine. They go to bed that night. It's just another Friday. But when you give us one Friday a month, you go home with all sorts of new ideas and thoughts and tools.
And we're running low on time here, so I don't want to go elaborate too much. But I think that's another great aspect of Leadership Roswell is exposing you to things, even things that you may even feel a little uncomfortable or unknowledgeable about or have strong opinions of one way or another. I think the class gets you to look at those things sometimes from different perspectives. I know we get set in our opinions, we get set in our ways, but sometimes a group discussion or an informal discussion about a particular subject, which, they'll breach sometimes in Leadership Roswell. I think, I'm not saying it's going to change opinions, but I think it'll give you a clearer picture of what everyone's opinions are on them, and you can agree or disagree, but at least understand it. And I think we need a little more understanding on everybody.
Last 3 years, you've talked about diversity, Black Lives Matter, Me Too, homeless. I mean,
but even like cannabis and things and stuff that are still subjects or some people have very strong opinions on. You have experts that come in and give you the information, the facts, and you can like or dislike, but they're giving you true information to form opinions on and things versus, I heard on Facebook this and that. You know what I mean? It tackles some of that and just takes some of the speculation out of the conversation, and I like that. So
I think it's a great opportunity.
Absolutely.
I guarantee whoever's in the class of 2022, they'll have a good experience.
Absolutely. I guarantee your first class in September to your last class in May, you're going to look at the world a little bit differently. You're going to have a greater appreciation for our community. And I think you yourself are going to be better personally, and I think your connections with people in your lives will be better too, I think.
And it's as you said earlier, a lot of people wait till the last minute, and it kind of drives me crazy looking at the applications because every year there's one or two or three that just barely miss it.
Sure, 4:57 on Friday, the last Friday.
Or the Monday afterwards. They'll call and say, is it too late? Now, but that's part of leadership is doing things timely. So if someone's interested or whoever's interested, go ahead and do the application now. Just get it in and don't worry about the deadline.
Yeah.
And,
just get it filled out, get it done this week. Like I said, if you get a chance here today or tomorrow, come by the chamber, pick up your applications, give you a day or two to percolate and think about it, and then maybe this weekend get to typing and writing and get it turned in next week.
And if they have questions, they can call the chamber. They're also welcome to call me, Rick Kraft at my office.
Absolutely.
And I'll take time to discuss with whomever. It's about meeting the needs of those who apply. So we want to make sure if there's any questions out there, we get them addressed.
Absolutely. And of course, the Chamber of Commerce has their Facebook page, Leadership Roswell Alumni Association, which supports the Leadership Roswell program. It's separate but different, but the same sort of. You can always shoot messages to either one of those Facebook pages if you prefer doing that, and there'll be people that can help you get whatever, answer your questions or take care of whatever you need there.
We've got a great alumni group.
Absolutely. But don't forget, July 30th, close of business, 5 p.m. July 30th. Get your applications into the Roswell Chamber of Commerce. If you wait till 5:30. You're going to try for class of 2023.
That's a good way of putting it. Got to wait another trip around the sun.
Exactly. Is there anything we missed, Rick, or do we get?
No, I think, like I said, I just think it's a great opportunity, and it's a great program that the chamber does that's offered to our community. So
absolutely,
I hope people really, a lot of people say I'll do it next year.
Yeah.
But I really would encourage people to
maybe that last week of, maybe around Tuesday or so, we can get you guys back on. Just all right, procrastinators.
Yeah.
This is your 2-minute notice here, your 2-minute warning on this. Yeah. Get it done. So.
And I want to tell you, I appreciate all you do, Mike.
Well,
community.
I'm glad. I'm very appreciative of what Leadership Roswell's done, and I'm so glad to be a part of that program and serve. In the capacities I do on the board and things for the Alumni Association, because it's a great program. I'm telling you, I don't care who you are or where you're at in life, this program you will benefit from, and you just might like it. You know, that's
it'll add value.
We talk about the growth and things you're going to have, but you're going to have fun too. I mean, you get to try new things. You get to goof around. I mean, it's not all work. I mean, it's social, and you know, while you're doing your group projects, these are some of these projects like you got to protect an egg. You know, that's kind of one of the projects. You know, there's a lesson there, but you're protecting an egg. So there's comedy's going to ensue when you're working on these projects and things. You know, that's what the program's all about. So. Rick, as always, appreciate the visit, and we'll see you here next time. And I'm sure you got a stack of stuff waiting for you.
Sure.
Good news is he didn't have a long commute to get back to his office.
About 20 steps. keep up the good job. We appreciate you, Mike.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
I'm the bread of life. For us, Jesus is our stability factor. He is the promise of a better tomorrow. The Bible tells us that if we give our anxieties and worries and requests to God, He will give us peace that is beyond understanding. So this week, give your unrest to God. He will give you peace.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Put a little cool into your back to school with the Back to School Blowout at Roswell Honda. Saturday, July 24th from 10 to 1, Roswell Honda is classing up your back to school season with free food and drinks, jolly jumps for the kids, and tons of giveaways, including a free 12-pack just for stopping by, free AirPods with a qualified test drive, a free Target gift card with purchase, and of course, the big backpack giveaway. Stop by now and get your kids signed up. The Back to School Blowout, Saturday the 24th at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd. Time to get back to the game. City of Champions Inc. and Seek First Sports present the first 5-on-5 flag football tournament of the year. Saturday, July 24th at the new turf fields at JC Park in Artesia. With 4 age groups, 7 to 8-year-olds, 10U, 12U, and 14U, and up to 10 players per team allowed. Cost is $350 per team, with proceeds to benefit youth sports in the area and to help maintain the turf fields. Find City of Champions Tournament Artesia on Facebook to learn more. Sign up today and get ready for the action. This event sponsored by Seek First Sports.
The Great One, Mark Levin, is now in Roswell on 106.5 KEND Roswell.